We just youthful and stupid. I can't get no usage of talk and smoke, feel lost. We fuck and we fight. By the end of the night, we'll be charged and overdone. So it's a hey, yeah, king of the youth. Tell me I'm right, I don't know what to do. Like, hey, yeah, kids will be fools. That's how we love, we're just living our truth. Like, hey, yeah, tell me what to do. I feel like I'm blind, I'm just looking for you. Looking for you. Feeling so lost in my disguise. Drop to my knees and pray and cry. How do I see through faded eyes? Who's gonna pick me up in time?
There comes a time in almost everyone's life where you're just wondering, am I doing this right? Hey, don't be stupid, keep on moving. If you fuck up, then you're living your life. I know it's hard. Some days you feel alone and in the dark, unsure of who it is you really are, incapable of anything at all.
So it's a hey, yeah, king of the youth. Tell me I'm right, I don't know what to do. Like, hey, yeah, kids will be fools. That's how we love, we're just living our truth. Like, hey, yeah, tell me what to do. I feel like I'm blind, I'm just looking for you. Looking for you.
Evento de Valorant aqui no Brasil tem que ter mais vezes com essa galera incrível. A torcida é sensacional. BR faz festa como nenhum outro.
Na semifinal 2, eu acho que a nave vai ganhar. Eu queria torcer pra Fnatic por causa do meu irmão careca, Danca, mas a semifinal vai ser Loud e nave.
Acho que pra mim quem vai ganhar o jogo amanhã vai ser a Fnatic, eu acho que vai ser 3-1. Por quê? Porque os caras vieram fortes pro campeonato, botaram 100 Deus pra casa e eu acho que os caras vão querer enfrentar os brasileiros na final. Com o Loud.
Eu acho que quem vai ganhar é a Fnatic por causa dele.
Navi.
Navi.
Navi. They're just a better structured team. They're FPX pretty much. They have CNET, which is crazy.
I have Navi winning a town. I think in those BO5s, those really long games, the map doesn't matter that much. It's more kind of the team's individual strength and talent. But I think Navi just have a little edge on that one. Amanhã quem ganha é a Navi. Não tem jeito. Estão muito fortes. A Navi ganha com certeza.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the VCT lock-in for the official Australian broadcast. Of course, we're excited to bring you all the action going down in Sao Paulo today. Yesterday's semi popped the absolute hell off, and I'm expecting the exact same thing here again on this beautiful, bright, starry Saturday morning. Of course, it's me, myself, Mac Daddy, MacMate _ on the Twitter sphere, with your boy, Mitch Pilipowski, also known as Pilski, Pilly, Pilsner, Pingu, you name it, he responds.
I do respond. It's what I do. And I am indeed your boy. I'm all of your sons. And I hope you're proud of me, because I'm ready to cast an excellent series today. I want 5 maps minimum. If we don't go to 6 maps, then I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit disappointed as well. So I guess we're just setting ourselves up for failure, honestly. Now, look, let's have a look at the bracket, of course. Things have gone down yesterday. Things have gone down... yesterday's highlights, rather. Of course, look, yesterday's highlights involved Fnatic signing things, getting an edge on their opponents and sitting in the crowd. Of course, there was an interesting amount of gameplay yesterday. DRX doing so much work against Loud, but unfortunately it was all for nothing in the end. And look, moving into today's games, I feel like yesterday's games, they're going to be hard to live up to.
Yeah, I think, look, at the end of the day, we discussed it yesterday, where we have these kind of tournaments where there's best of 5s often only in the grand final. You've got to play semi-final best of 5 as well into a grand final best of 5. It's a pretty grueling format. And I think you saw the results of that, you know, a series where Loud played DRX. The energy levels were all over the place with these two teams, right? Like, Loud came out of the gates on the first 2 maps and absolutely slapped them, and then just really let their foot off the gas pedal, and DRX were able to get back into the series after that, winning 2 pretty nice maps. But then when we headed onto Ascent, it was kind of back and forth, and it kind of felt like DRX maybe choked a little bit, maybe ran out of steam a little bit. It's hard to kind of describe, but you definitely had the ebbs and flows of a best of 5, and I think that, to be honest, you know, if you play a best of 3, it's a different result, right? Like, Loud won that series anyway, but you would have been saying all day, you know, you're playing a best of 3, those first couple of maps, Loud, you know, dominated, and it would have just been a foregone conclusion, and DRX never would have been able to kind of wake up and work their way into that series. I know that's going to be a disappointing loss for them. And I think, you know, looking at their placements overall, like, at what point does this team, you know, become world-class and start winning some titles? Because it's been a while now, and it feels like they're kind of forever destined to be, you know, floating around the top 8, but at best, top 4, always finishing out in the quarterfinals, which still makes you, you know, up there as one of the best teams in the world, but it's got to get frustrating for these boys at some point.
Yeah, but look, making top 4 up against all these other regions as well, you cannot be unhappy with it. 4th place, or technically, you know, 3rd to 4th place, because there is no lower bracket to decide who's 3rd, who's 4th here at the VCT lock-in. As you can see here, look, Loud, of course, moving on to the grand finals. Winners of the Alpha bracket, and now over towards the Omega bracket is where we're heading.
They are the Alphas.
Beautiful. Yeah, they are the Alphas. Yeah. So I feel like Loud going to be coming in as the Alphas. Whoever wins today coming in as the Omega. But the question is, who's going to be the Sigma? And that's what they're playing for here, Mitch.
100%. That's why we played the grand final, mate. Got to find out who the biggest Sigma males are. But this series has got plenty of them, mate. Like some of the best players in the world individually, and I'm just really excited to watch this game. As much as I love us watching Oceanic Valorant, people misplay all over the place, get ecoed every second round, I also do love watching the game being played at the absolute utmost high level in terms of the tactics and individual skills. So I'm really keen to actually watch this game.
Because you're laughing, people are probably thinking you're not being serious. Either way, I know you're being serious. I don't know why you're laughing, but at the same time, let's have a quick look at the Na'Vi lineup before we jump into this series. They are bloody sharp, Mitch. I went back and watched their last couple of games. Look, CNET in particular, popping the hell off recently. Angel, of course, doing the thinking, probably a little bit too old to be as mechanically gifted as some of the other individuals, but his stats still hold up, don't they?
Yeah, he's like a top 15 player in the tournament. I think I watched, I saw an interview somewhere with him, a little soundbite that was like, I want to be the MVP of the tournament. To be honest, mate, you know, Shao and CNET and some of these blokes are going to be pretty damn hard to beat. They're statistically, you know, some of the best players in the tournament, and in fact, looking at how lock-in's gone so far and the stats overall, I mean, we have got like 4 out of 5 of the top rated players in the tournament in the top 5, or like 5 out of 6. And to be honest, the only player in the top 5 that's not those players didn't play that many rounds, played like 1/3 of the rounds and got knocked out early and just had to bang a couple of series. So it doesn't really count, to be honest. All 5 of the top players, if you like filtered out for like 100 rounds or so, would be in the server right now, which just shows you how high level of a game this is.
And to be fair, look, they've been punching down. They haven't had any hard opponents yet, so Fnatic might be that first hard opponent. Hey, takes, they're hot. But interviews, they're hotter, and we got a little interview coming from Na'Vi as well.
We were pretty confident going into the match with Leviathan because probably we didn't play Prax against them at all. We didn't experience them playing super good in Prax, so we wasn't scared like other teams, you know? I'm not super happy. It's like, I'm still aiming for MVP this tournament, you know? And it looks like other players from my team are a bit higher, so I need to step it up in next games. I would say CNET is a bit more aggressive. I'm super proud of him. Like, he jumped into a super structured team like ours, and he's doing a great job despite him having to play different agents across different maps. It was a confident win. Don't know what else to say. I'm just happy.
The reposition. Nothing to get to. 1v3 push on found. 1, 2, 3!
I think in Fnatic everyone is able to perform really well, except Bostro. I feel Bostro is not obviously new to AGLing, yeah, but he's in the start of his pass and he's gonna be insane later. But at this moment I feel pretty confident playing against him in terms of counter-stratting, in terms of everything related to AGL. I would say I'm natural born leader, but the traits which required to be good AGL, it's only experience. You need to try something new all the time, then remember which worked, which not. Just a lot of tries, a lot of mistakes is what makes you a good AGL. Good luck, have fun.
GLHF, a great way to put it, of course. And you heard it there from Angel. Mans wants the W. And going up against the likes of Boaster and the boys today from Fnatic, I feel like there's a high chance that they could take it, but Fnatic have been looking pretty hot as well. Not only here, but for a pretty long time now, Mitch.
100%, and I think they've just made, you know, better and better pickups, some great talent scouting going on. Obviously, someone like Boaster is someone that a lot of people are, you know, looking up to in the scene, love his guides and all that kind of stuff, and he's got a good brain for the game. Interesting to see his development as a player. Kind of the two opposite ends of the spectrum, comparing him to someone like Angel, who has a little bit of a history in tactical FPS and a lot of experience at this point. So yeah, exactly like you said, it's going to kind of be like the experienced leader versus the new blood leader. And I think as well, some of the players in the server for both Fnatic and for the boys over there on Na'Vi, it's some of the players that have kind of come up in Valorant and are showing themselves to be some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, they certainly are. Now, look, we've got a little highlight package in terms of just listening to Boaster. So let's listen to him in this interview, one of the most charismatic individuals esports has ever seen.
We are currently top 4 at an event. That's kind of hype. I don't know when the last time was that we were top 4. Yeah, honestly, during that second half on the attack side and we started losing rounds, it did feel like I didn't know what to do. None of my kind of original planning was working, and I wasn't really sure why. I'm always a bit rusty calling on that map, it feels like. So it was kind of, it was a weird match. I need to watch it back fully to actually understand what the hell was actually happening.
And very indicative that there's no presence. And Alpha, this position, does find one and a second. The Turkish superstar, the kid himself,
oh my God,
in unison.
And our next opponent is Na'Vi. Now that's going to be a bit of a revenge grudge match there, especially who's going to take the crown for EMEA to the finals and hopefully take that trophy as well. Yeah, and then obviously he's a great IGL, you know, he did it in CSGO and he's come to Valorant and he's still at the top of his game. Like, he's made a team that is one of the top teams in EMEA. That's a feat that can't be going unnoticed, you know, so you got to put respect when respect is due. However, when we're on a server, only disrespect. So I'm not really scared of them. We've actually upgraded our roster and I want to beat them. So like, they know that we're coming for them. So it's just about how they're going to prepare for us as well. Last time we played them and we lost, Sugetsu did this to me and then waved me goodbye. So I'm not going to do it back. However, that is imprinted in my brain, and I'm Michael Jordan, and it's like, what's that word where he says, I will remember. I took that personally. I did take that personally, so Sugetsu, there'll be no crying tears, only for you tonight, baby.
We'll see if this is going to be a bit of a bloodbath, of course, some revenge stories coming through there for Fnatic. We'll see if that one rings true, though, because, look, as we were saying before, Mitch, Na'Vi just looks so good right now. And statistically, they are just slightly better, so we'll see what Fnatic's going to be able to do here. At the same time, they've got a lot of supporters starting to roll in. This was pretty empty about 20 minutes ago, and everyone's showing up because it's game time, or almost game time. Boaster in particular, his stats looking okay for the tournament so far. I feel like a few individuals we were looking at yesterday had some relatively sick stats, though. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that, you know, these are not really the stats that you need to look at with Boaster. It's things like how fast can he turn around a TikTok, you know, what's his vocal range and things like that, as opposed to like stats in the server. There's so many variables that, you know, people just don't talk about with what the players can really achieve. So it's not all about frags at the end of the day, Matt. Sometimes, you know, if I was making up a little stats sheet for you, I'd probably chuck your PB bench in there.
And the other thing as well that you got to remember is how quickly can he tilt the opponents with all that flexing going on stage. Man is very charismatic, very animated, and very, very noticeable no matter where you are sitting in this arena. And as you can see, it's time to see the players. They're making their way out to stage and getting ready for this best of 5 series. So Look, best of fives, neither of these teams have had to do it this tournament so far, which means we might see them have to flex the map pool. Yesterday, that meant we went all the way to 5 maps. Do you think we're going all the way to 5 again today?
I'd love to see it, to be honest. And look, there's definitely potential there. It's interesting because you don't really know what you're going to get out of semi-final like this. Both of these teams have been absolutely lights out this tournament. What's he cooking up? Oh my god.
Let him cook.
Meanwhile, Angel is just like, yeah, right, mate. He's like, just another semi-final for me. Like, another day at the office. Yeah, neither one of these teams have lost a game this year, this tournament. So, you know, one of them, that's definitely going to have to change heading into this semi-final. And sometimes that could be an interesting dynamic where as a team in a tournament or for a period, you haven't really been tested too much. And sometimes that's quite scary. You know, having done some coaching and competing and stuff like that myself, sometimes it's better to lose a little bit earlier on, or at least be tested a little bit earlier on, drop some maps here and there, versus things aren't really going wrong. The tournament's going very well for you, and then you come up against a bit of adversity in a very important match, and sometimes that can kind of be a cracking point.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it's cracking point today as everyone gets ready to jump on into this game. So far, so good in terms of, you know, everyone in the crowd getting hyped up for both these teams. And in the huddle, what do you reckon they're saying? What do you reckon they're saying to get the boys going?
I think, you know, for some of
these extras,
I think it's going to be pretty different huddle energy, to be honest. I think for someone like Angel, he's probably keeping these guys pretty chill. You know, it seems like the kind of team on Na'Vi where they just want to trust the individual skill and things like that. I think for Fnatic, they're probably going to be like a little bit more like upbeat, a little bit more game planning, that kind of thing. You know, just try to keep the vibe super good. And, you know, we'll see what we're going to get out of this series. I think it's going to, you know, at the end of the day, it does come down to what is the vibe of the leadership in the team. And I think that the vibe of the leadership between these two teams is definitely very different. You know, you've got a young, kind of charismatic person like Boaster versus someone like Angel, who's just going to be your level-headed, kind of experienced, been there, done that kind of guy, trying to keep the boys on the same page and keep everybody kind of calm and trusting in the system.
Yeah, well, having a look at the veto here, of course, no Pearl, no Icebox, which maps we got to see yesterday, so it looks like there's going to be Lotus here somewhere. Haven will be the first pick, with Na'Vi choosing to go on the attacking side. Na'Vi, let's see where they're going. They're going straight to Lotus, so we're going to see these maps. We didn't actually get to see it all yesterday as the first initial 2 of this best of 5, so things are going to get extremely spicy, starting on Haven. Lotus, of course, the newer map in the pool. And that means we're going to see Split in here somewhere as well. So it's going to be an interesting affair. Fracture, we're going to definitely be seeing that as the 3rd map. Na'Vi starting on the defense. Fnatic has actually picked attack on Lotus, so we'll see if that one works out for them. Split as well, going to be Na'Vi's selection, which means we got Ascent as the decider. And Mitch, look, Ascent as the decider means we're going all the way to 5 again, so I hope that's the case.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. That's what we saw yesterday. I think it's probably the most middle ground map that you can get. It's been around for quite a long time. I would say, arguably, the structure of the map has been around before this game even existed. So if you played different tactical FPSs, you've probably played a little bit of Ascent in theory. It's not that different from some other maps that we've seen from time to time. So ultimate home ground, comfort ground for someone that has got a history playing tactical FPS, and I do like it as the 5th map decider. I'm eager and keen to see if we're going to make it there, but at least to kick things up on the 1st map, I think we're kicking things off with Haven though.
Yeah, so Haven will be this 1st map, so we'll see what agent comps we get from both these teams. Looks like there's going to be a slight deviance already. Angel locking in that Sova.
Yeah.
Smokes is going to be a bit different. You've got the Astra coming through for Boaster. You got Xiao on the Omen. And looks like we're going to go double Initiator up against double Initiator, but the Initiators are going to be slightly different, Mitch.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe. You know, you've got the Breach. The Breach is going to bully map control. It's going to be very kind of, you know, setting up your team kind of based, whereas the KO is a little bit more of a case of you're finding information, you know, you're setting yourself up for plays. You could play a little bit more pseudo-duelist kind of entry that you can't with the Breach. So it's definitely going to be an interesting dynamic, a change in play style between both of these two teams. And I'm keen to see which approach does end up prevailing, because I think they're both fundamentally very good approaches, and you know, we'll see which one of these teams on Haven's going to go a little bit better. As for Na'Vi, they haven't played at this tournament, they haven't played it this year, so it's been a couple of months between drinks for them in terms of playing Haven in an official. As for Fnatic though, they've already won 2 games on it this tournament. They won against Sentinels pretty one-sidedly, and then had a real tight one against Furia in the quarterfinals of their group.
Well, everyone getting real excited to the sound of it already. Let's see what's going to be going down here for round 1. And Durka is straight on into it. First pick there on the Jet, but Angel able to answer with another straight away. You can see as well, Angel starting to make that drone maneuver straight down into sewer, getting as much info as possible. And the early rotation as well means it's going to be a bloodbath. Leo here, Chronicle wrapping around and looking to make this work together, but the long-range fight at long isn't going to go in favor of Chronicle. Leo falls to Sugetsu, and that's going to be full site control. 1v3 angle. Let's see what Alfie has for the boys.
Yeah, he's going to get nanoed off though. They're making his life a little bit difficult. Waiting for some cooldowns to come on through. There is the KO knife. You've also got shock dart off the back of the contact on Graffiti. Actually, it's a recon. That's going to scan him. And at this point, even if the recon didn't come in, you're just seeing beautiful play in the 1v3. A little bit of confidence coming in from Sugetsu, just goes and gets it done. But realistically, that is the perfect triangle setup. 1 Hell, 1 Default, 1 Graffiti, playing off the Graffiti player's contact. There's no way you're getting back in through CT in that situation. So really nice round from Na'Vi. I think already in that opening pistol, you could be a little bit on the critical side in terms of, you know, these players, just because they're so individually skilled. That usually there's very few kind of mistakes in terms of mechanics. I think a little shakiness from some of these boys already in the pistol. You know, a couple missed shots. It's a big, important game. Sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of warm yourself into it.
Well, Durka, not scared at all. Poking his head into the sewers here, or try to get that damage through the wallbang, but will just be tagged up by the drone and forced back to site. However, Na'Vi still hanging around lobby. A little bit of alert coming in from Sugetsu at mid. But just waiting for Fnatic to make a move.
Yeah, this anti-eco approach is something that, you know, Angel and FPX kind of popularized. Just the 2 pistols with a couple of rifles. If some of your rifling players die, you can pretty easily recycle the weapons. Min-max the economy. Almost got 2 players on a pseudo bonus. A little bit of A control. Nice opener from CNED, able to punish Durka, which was the player with the Sheriff, often looking for a pick. And with all of these players on light armor, if he did land a headshot, that was going to be at least 1 player hitting the deck. But after that initial pick over towards the A side, you see the reroute towards C, but this is clever from Fnatic. They're already kind of leaning over to this side of the map.
Yeah, they've made a read somewhere, and the Shorty is going to get damage done at range. CNED falling, Shorty for 2. Alpha is just popping off on the C site. Now with 20 seconds, they either reroute or just force their hand in. Cutting sound for the moment, Alfie gets the info on the jiggle and still has a Shorty. If he gets 3 from this position, that is completely insane. He's not gonna. And with 10 on the clock, it's all down to Leo. He's got a Vandal in hand, but he's not gonna be able to stop that plant from happening. And Zippin as well, just waiting for that swing around. Leo falling back, trying to isolate the angle. But Xiao from default as well, just looking to be that first point of contact. Shot across, almost makes it happen. But yeah, Zipan surviving on 1 point of health for the moment, and that's going to be Na'Vi picking up 2 in a row, but that round was costly.
Delete this weapon. Unreal. Not just that though, I mean, Chronicle, excellent supportive util on the breach already. You're seeing it in both the pistol and in the eco round there. The fault lines are absolutely impeccable from this man on the defense. When the players on pistol scaled up onto the A side, he was able to fault line default and set his players up for a kill. As they scaled out C there, another perfect fault line. It's always so satisfying to see a high level breach player applying his trait. Scan from the dart is going to actually hit up on Durka, but Leo plays off that beautifully and is able to cover his teammate as he's on the retreat up sewer.
CNED robbed it. His crosshair looked real good to me. Either way, it is just going to be the pressure straight down the middle. B-site has no util on it for the moment, and we are going to see Xiao just shadow stepping straight into safety, get that plant down, and A-Link control is in the hands of Fnatic. They're looking to go for a quick damn retake. Stunning forward, Angel getting right out of dodge there as Durka starts to clear the site, but the Nano's going to slow down the retake for the moment, and the one-way on the top of site with that dark cover means things could get difficult real damn quick. You're going to pair that up with the recon bolt as well, and this is looking like a recipe for success, but finally Boaster going to be giving his life and allowing everyone else to do the shooting here. Defuse all the way through, and the rest of the troops protect them. A flawless first gun round coming through from Fnatic on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, usually you see the flawless, you know, little voice light come up, and it's just a case of, oh, they had 5 guns up, but that actually was a flawless round from Fnatic in pretty much every sense of the word. Durka getting scanned, covered super well by Leo. You can see, I go to say FPX, Na'Vi go for the contact into one of the small sites straight up on B in the 4-on-5, which I think is a pretty good approach. They were able to get a pretty seamless post plan in, but Fnatic weren't in a rush. They were able to punish the further aggression over towards A-Link. They took their time in the post plant, and they were able to pretty easily clean up the rest of that round from there. Now heading into round number 4, another buy through from Na'Vi. Taking some A lobby control. The Killjoy trying to keep some presence on grass. Alarm bot over on C long, making sure they're not getting flanked too much. See Na'Vi at the moment very much waiting for some kind of a mistake from Fnatic, expecting someone like Durka perhaps to go aggressive and look for a pick. But Fnatic for the time being playing quite slow and reserved.
Gonna get spotted out by that drone. Leo still safe on site and has a helping hand, a couple of helping hands behind him actually. Early rotation as well from Boaster, just expecting Na'Vi to go for the full commit, and they're going to start to make their way out of short now over towards long though. Durka already, he takes that head off at range. Over in the pocket as well, Boaster ready for everyone to swing off his contact, spamming, getting the wallbang straight on the Angel, and things not going well at all for Na'Vi in this gun round. Again, Durka, no fear, just peeking like it's nobody's business, and that's going to be a second real damn quick for Fnatic.
Yeah, and it's not like brainless aggression by any stretch of the imagination. He was, you know, usually you see these jet players, and you can see in general, Na'Vi were waiting for aggression on Sewer. They were taking their time. They ran a 1-4 A default. They took A lobby control. They were sitting, camping, pitching up a tent on A long in Sewer, just waiting for a jet player to go aggressive, waiting to see if they could get an opening pick. Durka did a whole lot of nothing that round. He was max chilling in hell, waiting for the exec to come in. He picks the perfect time to go forward and actually take that duel over towards A long, able to chip down the numbers before they even get on the A site, and from there, make things even better. Similar to what I was talking about last round though, Durka this time does go aggressive, and Na'Vi running a bit of a pseudo default, not A lobby control this time, just taking some grass control, but Angel is holding for that Sewer's aggression, is able to punish him, and this is actually a man advantage for Na'Vi, even if they don't have a gun advantage, which is concerning on a map like Haven. Any 3-site map where you go down in numbers on the defense can be quite hard to put the pieces together sometimes. There's going to be gaps somewhere.
Okay. It's just tanking the Nano. Okay, Alpha going straight to his teammate's util. Either way, works for one. Zypan stuck in the corner, and you can see that CNED doesn't want to be caught in a similar position, so drops that cloud burst to try to get to safety. Chronicle falling away, and Leo as well, just real damn sharp with the Phantom. Na'Vi unable to find an answer at the moment, but look, keeping it at a 3v3 means there is a heavy opportunity for them. Alpha Jai at this range should have the advantage, and he's just going to tuck away in pit as well, but he knows that time's a factor. Recon Bolt reveals his position, and he's going to try to play off the one from his teammate. That looks real damn good for 3. Just jumping up on plat, and a 4th for the round. Alpha Jut locking down C like it's nobody's business.
Yeah, and this is already an excellent start for Fnatic, right? Like, these rounds are looking a little too easy for them. There isn't a whole lot of post plants happening for Na'Vi. There isn't a whole lot of pushback in terms of them trading out some of these kills. So Fnatic, at the moment, kind of going from strength to strength, even after losing that first pick. They're looking pretty dominant, man. The multi-frags are on point, and as such, with how hard they're fragging, they are really starting to juice up their economy on the defensive side of Haven right now. All right, here we go again. A lobby control, massive scan coming out there from Leo. You get the KO ult pop straight away, and Zippen's trying to pick up the pace straight away.
Okay, let's see how it goes for him. CNET straight over to Graffiti, but it's going to be trades favoring Fnatic at the moment. And again, they're all here at the party just in time. Leo going to be able to pick up another 3 for him. And that is a quality defense. Spike on the ground, and Angel going to make this happen in the 1v3, but Durka way too sharp there with the op. And it's not looking good at the moment for Na'Vi. Fnatic are really feeling it on Haven at the moment.
They are. Feel like on an individual basis, the multi-frags are coming easy to Fnatic. There's no weak point in the armor right now. Na'Vi going to take a timeout, have a chat about what's happening. Just feels like the defense of the sites is going a little bit too easy. You know, Na'Vi often going for this pretty straightforward approach, running this A lobby control into the A execute, which at the end of the day is kind of allowing Fnatic to lean quite heavily towards A. A lot of the time, you know, it feels like Na'Vi is trying to run through a brick wall. They're running into sites where there's already crossfires established, there's counter utility at the ready. So I'm keen to see if Angel's going to kind of recognize that, realize that, look, it is nice to just do the straightforward approach, run the defaults into executes on the side of the map that you pressure, but at the same time, that's going to allow the defense to kind of rotate accordingly. Maybe it's time to, you know, employ a bit of a different approach, especially on a 3-site map. You know, maybe run a second stage of some of these defaults, a lobby controller into garage and kind of push and pull the rotations around a little bit, maybe try to find some gaps, maybe give some individual freedom for some of these boys to kind of activate in the mid-round, because at least for the time being, the straight up approach is not working.
What would you suggest if you were the IGL right now?
Oh, definitely.
Because you are the smartest man I know, Mitch. What would you call for Na'Vi right now?
I mean, to be fair, you do live in, southwestern Sydney, so that's not really saying much. I would say definitely slow things down on this attacking side in terms of just getting more map control, pushing and pulling the rotations. I think it's going to be quite easy to identify that like I said, it feels like they're trying to run through a brick wall. It feels like they're doing A default into A execute, and Fnatic are ready for it, and Fnatic are multi-fragging them a little bit. Stop trying to just execute the sites and maybe slow things down a little bit, and like I said, try and pull the rotations apart a bit more. Going to be the contact towards lobby here. Boaster on the info line, just spotting things out. This is a dangerous round, though. You got the jet knives out for CNET.
Boaster able to find another from that position. This man's popping off today. He's ready. He's making it to that grand final, or at least looking to take this first map, and the pistols aren't going to be a match for Fnatic at all. Leo chimes in with 2 of his own, and it's only Boaster to fall. Almost a flawless again. And Fnatic, their stocks, look at the credits, Mitch. Yeah. They are rich.
It's looking a little bit too easy as well. There's not a whole lot of pushback from Na'Vi, and even just looking at that round, like I know it's only a Sheriff round, but first player to take contact is Angel going up sewer. He basically, there's no trade potential. There's a 1v1 given early in the round from there. And then it feels like, Na'Vi's not scaling up together. It feels like Fnatic is peeking into them, is taking duels on their terms, and is working for the change up here. You get the fault line straight into window. Durka aggressing all the way up. In the meanwhile, though, Na'Vi is pushing straight through Gary into C.
Oh, Alpha Jet on the back of side, waiting for the log side swing, but he's got eyes on this position already. Either way, it is going to be Zyban going the whole way through. Alpha just dropped the ball, and Na'Vi finally finding some success. 2v5 angle. There is a couple of ults to use Cozzy online if they want to test Na'Vi at the moment. But we'll see what Durka can do to try to get back into sight here. Man's been sharp. Could potentially find himself a lineup. Boaster, though, not ready for the flank. And Durka making his way out of the back of Gary, will not find anything. It's Na'Vi with a flawless of their own to finally answer what Fnatic's been throwing at him.
Just changing things up. A side hasn't been working for them. They've been getting absolutely slammed on that side of the map. They just go for a Gary split into C. That works an absolute treat. Great entries from Zippen. And this is exactly what I was saying in terms of, you know, the KO being able to play this pseudo duelist kind of entry role. Not something that you're going to be able to make work with your breach. And it feels like Na'Vi, they're happy with how that went. A has not been great. They go Gary to C, it instantly works. And again, it seems like they're kind of itching to go for the same thing. Just keep running it until it stops working.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Always a great strat. Looks like we are going to see Alphaja and Leo team up again. Na'Vi really trying to fight fire with fire. And the lockdown even invested from this position too. You can see though that CNED on his own in Gary with the spike is in an extremely rough position. But Na'Vi just cut and sound, trying to create as much space as possible as Sugetsu goes down in the mix of everything going on. 2v4 angle. CNED looking to make his way out. Hunter's Fury to zone them. There is a bit of connection onto Boaster, who won't go down from the third pulse. Third shot missing. And Durka already on the flank with the operator of all bloody things. CNED will be traded out. And that is going to be Chronicle closing out the round. So 6-3, not too bad from Fnatic. That was a solid approach and a whole lot of pressure put on many extremities of the map, which enabled that fast flank to come through from Durka.
Yeah, and I think that's a downside of running the KJ as your main sentinel is just, you know, you had to get to over towards the C side of the map. That alarm bot and the turret goes down pretty quickly. Alarm bot in particular over towards A goes down, allows Durka to flank, especially after the KJ dies. He knows he can push it even further, and with him getting that info and getting that deep, you know, push down over towards A, it really allows them to kind of lean towards C, which is just Haven defense 101, isn't it? It's the push and pull effect. You're always looking for something on defense. You're looking for a pick. You're looking for some map control. Now Na'Vi picking up the pace towards B. Underarm flash straight out window. They're going to start putting pressure on B. Supposed to get scanned backside. You're trying to get the Rolling Thunder to save him, but it doesn't really help out too much.
Yeah, CNED so good at finding these entries at the moment. Is going to find yet another. Durka onto Angel means one of the initiators is out of the equation, but Chronicle's still living on the back of sight for the moment. And that's going to send him away, as well as the lockdown invested from that C-Link position. So now we're down to this 3v3, and all that map control that Na'Vi almost had did have to get relinquished. We are going to see Chronicle start to go on an adventure straight down mid, as we do see the rotation from the spike towards C side, but over towards the bottom of mid. Zipan, as this 0 point won't scan Alphaja, who's right in front of him. Gets the gun out just in time though, and now it's all up to Durka to make it happen, but the read's bad. He's gone back to A, but it's C that he should be worried about, and now of course it's looking like it should be a fourth Na'Vi round from here.
They're just grinding their way back into the game, man.
Yeah.
Mixing things up a lot. A wasn't working for them. They did a Gary split into C. That worked, but then Fnatic adapted pretty quickly, and that's where Na'Vi went for that B pressure. Nice little response from Fnatic. They try to save Boaster in the back of the site. They try to Rolling Thunder and Flood. They Killjoy lockdown as well to cancel the B site hit, which at the end of the day is not something that Na'Vi minded too much. They are the kind of team that if they ended up in a 3-on-3, they might even just do that without you throwing the lockdown down sometimes. They really don't mind slowing down the pace once they get into the XVX. Once they get into the mid to late round, they're quite happy to just sit and wait for their opponents to make a mistake. So, you know, whenever I see that kind of thing where Fnatic is throwing down the lockdown in a 3-on-3 and Na'Vi's able to just run back and reset on the map, especially on a map like Haven, the 3-on-3 on attack side, I feel like you're in pretty safe hands with someone like Angel at the helm. Zipan's turtling in middle, playing anti-aggro. Really nice movement for him. Little circle jump based out Alphaja, who's trying to swing the man. And we all know how that works. I mean, it's not the same thing as in CS, where you do a little bit of a shoulder peek because the movement mechanics are not the same. You're trying to bait out the first few shots, but the circle jump works the same to win that duel.
Ooh, big flash over the top. And Alphaja is not going to be cleared. Somehow snuck his way so far forward, and that might just be the round already. We're 10 seconds in, and there's no chance for Sugetsu with a 1v4. That is a round. And a clean one at that.
Durka posted up on the line. Sugetsu's sweating bullets right now. Aftershocked out of position, and Chronicle finishes him off. That might even be Chronicle's first kill this game. Man's been running around on breach, just throwing util most of the time. Oh, yeah, no, he's on 4. He's on 4.
4, 7, and 9. But look at those assists, Mitch.
Yeah.
That's what you were frothing about before.
For sure. Didn't end up mattering. It feels like Alphage's positioning has been impeccable. He's been mixing it up all the time. When he was using the operator on that C site and he got caught by the Gary split, you saw him immediately change things up. He went to the close C long position to defend the Gary split from there. And then in that round, he's pushing down C long. On the KJ, he's been very difficult to read, always mixing things up, and in general, Fnatic always mixing up their setups, which has caught Na'Vi off guard a few times on a 3-site map like Haven. Sometimes it is a case of just on the defense side, you end up in a bit of a scissors, paper, rock kind of situation. Sometimes you just throw scissors and they're throwing paper and, you know, they run into the 2-man setup close with the operator and you're doing a C-long contact like we saw in that round and you just get absolutely rolled. Get a timeout for
pure size diff in the coach role.
Sure.
Those cameras doing them dirty at the moment.
I mean,
but look, at the
isn't
same time.
Fnatic's coach called Vinny? So, I mean, at the end of the day, he's embracing it. Although I would like the what's the word? The sarcastic name. Sarcastic's not the right word, but like, you know, the anti-name, where it's like, you're just a tiny bloke and you call yourself Big McLarge, huge, humongous.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a humongous in our region.
We do. He's getting pretty humongous, but that's a story for another time. May as well take the timeout right at the end of the half. Min-max using your timeouts, because you're not going to get another one later on.
I think the word you were looking for is ironic, and I struggled to find it myself.
Yeah, well, it's
Yep.
kind of early.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be forgiven. Xiao gets wall banked, doesn't go down, and has the confidence to just swing straight onto Durka. That's a man advantage for Na'Vi. They really want to convert this one. They're pressuring this B site rotation, trying to cut the middle of the map. They're also pressuring into A here after taking that pick on C. The Jet just trying to bait out some kind of reaction from Fnatic, and you can see the contact slowly coming into A site. Na'Vi are reading these rotations excellently right now.
Let's see if they can slide their way through. At the moment, Chronicle happy just to play behind A-Link, wait to punish any over-aggression. But from this position, Na'Vi definitely set up for success. You got Zip and Even tearing that null command to try to keep him away. And this one-way on that CT choke as well is going to be so much of a nuisance to get past, of course. That's the slight difference you get, right, when you're playing the Omen up against the likes of the Astra, but we are going to get a Cosmic cutting off long, cutting off short side, and Boaster trying to draw a whole lot of attention. CNED looking good with the blades here. Sugetsu as well deals with that flank nicely, and it's looking almost flawless. Leo tries to put a stop to it, but can only find a 2 there on the re-entry, and 7-5 is going to be the scoreline at the half. Na'Vi really clawing back into the half, but Fnatic 7 on the defense. That's a pretty decent affair. You'd expect them to have some kind of heavy strats here, being their map pick on Haven.
Yeah, quite honestly, I felt like Na'Vi really didn't play that well that half. And I think that's interesting because at the end of the day, they still got 5 rounds. They got a 7-5 half. I think individually, it felt like Fnatic were bigger, faster, stronger. They were multi-fragging up a Storm. They were kind of beating them with their individual skill. But at the end of the day, when you've got the system, you've got an experienced IGL like Angel, it doesn't matter. He's still going to get you your rounds on attack. It doesn't matter if it's a slow day at the office. You know, the boys aren't really feeling it. They're still just maximizing those rounds. That last round of the half is a perfect example of it, where Xiao gets an opening pick on Durka. They just take their time, pressure onto B, pull the rotations off of A, creep straight up into the A site. You get yourself the freest execute, the freest real estate of your life. You get straight into the post plant, and you just make Fnatic's life impossible to try and retake.
What if I told you I didn't listen to a word you just said and was dancing to these tunes the whole time?
Gotta keep yourself hyped.
I love the mouse checks as well. I love just looking at the gear that everyone's rocking. Of course, there is a heavy presence with those super lights.
Okay, Chronicle, he's got his own little personal fan.
Did he?
Yeah, right under him. And there's another one. There's another.
Yeah, little desk fans. I guess it's like for the sweaty hands, of course. Brazil's
well, maybe it's
probably in a climate that they're not used to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's a tournament operations kind of thing. You know, Riot's doing their best to kind of keep the boys happy.
It's like the pure opposite of hand warmers.
Yeah, I mean, you got a couple of boys from Sweden and, you know, some colder parts of Europe. Sent them down to Sao Paulo. Things are getting a little bit too steamy for them. And look, we'll just try and keep them comfy.
I can tell you, I'm ready for anything, Mitch. After this summer we've had, the gaming, the sweat.
Yeah.
The pure sweat from gaming is ridiculous.
You're burning some crazy calories. What was that? What was that meme post that was back a little while ago? Someone saying like, "Oh, gamers burn like 1,500 calories or something." So crazy like that.
Yeah, and everyone was saying, no way. I was like, yes, way.
You just sweating balls in your PC room in the middle of summer playing some Valorant.
Oh well. Look, people will understand one day that you can play in a sauna. Either way, look, moving into round 13. Let's see who's going to be taking the pistol.
Get the boys holding hands right now. Waiting for the KO knife. Dark cover comes in the backside of A lobby. Zipping, spotting things out on the info line. KJ turret spotted out. He sees at least one cross. He's going to try and pop flash and get himself an opening pick.
Let's see if you read this perfectly. And you seem to have. It is going to be the opening pick, but the trade comes through instantaneously. AlphaJut ready with a ghost of his own. And we are going to see Boaster setting up those smokes, looking to pull in the nebulas. Shocky, though, going to send him away. And that recon bolt as well. Just clearing out the close lines. So back to the 4v4. And with a minute remaining, Fnatic can go anywhere.
We call the audible. They're still a little bit concerned about someone creeping up in that short position. They clear the turret. This is what I was kind of wondering. Are Fnatic going to slow things down in the mid-round? Look at this two-man contact looking for information here for Na'Vi.
Angel feeling sharp in the trade. Sugetso's looking for it. At the same time, CNED up on Graffiti. He's going to go down, and the pressure was too much from Fnatic. Spacing that little bit better. Obviously, Na'Vi trying to stay proactive with that push into sewers to just gain the info if Fnatic is still there or not. But it went south real quick. And now it's down to Shout in a 1v3. Ghost in hand could definitely do it. 2 dark covers on the board. And 1 shadow step to maybe get across, but he won't beat Chronicle. Won't get across that first step. So at least there's going to be some util in the back pocket for Na'Vi moving into the second round of the half. But that's going to be both pistols in the bag for Fnatic. 8-5 now. And it should be a clean second round.
Really just good patience for Fnatic. Good spacing. They really understood exactly what Na'Vi wanted to do in that round. They gave themselves enough rope to hang themselves with, essentially, just taking their time on A. They didn't force straight through the A long choke. They slowed things down. They cleared the turret. They held the short A contact. Did exactly what they needed to do to convert that round. So another pistol for them. Puts them once again in the driver's seat here on the second half of Haven. Shout, that's sharp. One little one-tap dirt nap for Chronicle there. He's down for the count. Boaster picking up the Vandal immediately, tickling the orb. There is a lot of players here on Fnatic with rifles and light armor. Leo, the only player with full armor here, and that's a dangerous prospect staring down the barrel of a bunch of sheriffs and the marshal. CNED making the mid-round push here. He has got so much information on C-Long, and you're already starting to see the rotations come through here from Na'Vi. Big A-site stack for them. Fnatic, on the other hand, exploring grass, making their way towards B, but CNED might have a nasty timing here.
Yeah, but it's also like the path of least resistance that Fnatic's found. Straight into B, they've gone Nebula on the C-Link side. Many numbers coming in from A-Link, and AlphaJut just crossing those T's, dotting those I's, ready for anything and ready for that flank. So not much coming through there from CNED. Durka as well. Just happy to take these fights. He knows it's just pistols on the other side, so he's able to get big damage with Wallbang. And now Zipan in a 1v4 angle isn't going to find a thing. That's going to be 9-5. Nothing like our job, but Fnatic 3 away, or 4 away rather from that
5 a.m.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Good stuff from Boaster. Nice little trade through there. Good patience as well from AlphaJut. No, understanding really what's clean and what's dirty. Understanding that in a round where it's a bit of a half bite, there's just sheriffs and marshals for Na'Vi. They're going to make these mid-round pushes. They're going to cut corners. Try to put themselves in a winning position and punished accordingly well by Fnatic.
Mate, Durka's making me want to pick up the Phantom again. Man, so sharp with it.
He uses a bit of both, to be honest. Either way, round 15. First gun round for Na'Vi. Got the KO knife back of a lobby and a great info line on a long here. It's going to allow Na'Vi to kind of rotate accordingly. They're kind of giving up C here. And Boaster's read this well. You can see he hasn't seen a soul over on B. He's calling the boys over.
Sugetsu still unchecked. Nano going to be invested just to deal with that turret and allow AlphaJet to come in on the lurk. So late C split potentially. Recon Bolt clearing out the back of sight, and that's going to be full C-site control. But you can see that Na'Vi, they are happy to play for the retake. They don't have any ults online, but they are just going to try to make this one happen together. Sugetsu finds one there through the smoke, but it's going to be instantly answered with Boaster ready for the swing, but he can't see a thing. The paranoia too strong this time. And Durka, he's got a 1v3 angle to give a crack, but unfortunately only finds one. So big retake coming through for Na'Vi. And going into round 16. It's getting real damn close on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but still, you know, that's not the worst thing in the world for Fnatic. It's a good round for them because they brought it down to 2 alive. Money's going to start getting a little bit dicey here for Na'Vi. They are very resettable. CNET down to a judge. Oh, Sugetsu gets done dirty in between the scans there from the drone. Yep.
Nice retake, guys. Well played.
Yeah, we're talking about the distance between the players. The air it's the air fist bumps for me. We love that.
Well, we'll see if that changes. You know, it's the little things, you know.
Well, updraft for the moment. Durka was looking for that A long peak right off the bat. You could see the KO of Zippin playing around that. Invests the knife over there quite early on, able to deny the knives. That's going to slow down the round for a good 10-15 seconds. But afterwards, seems like Fnatic interested in going and exploring this A side of the map. Zipping on the deep info line. You get to get CNED playing close sewer here. See Zippin
flashes forward.
Yeah, trying to disrupt the default a little bit, but going to start to move around closer to CNED and try to bait for the judge.
You can see both have done their homework. They know that Na'Vi really love this setup to try and retake sewer. And Boaster, he's going to be going forward. Man loves to live dangerously, putting his life on the line for the team, but after those smokes go up, he is just looking to create as much chaos as possible. Durka falling, Angel coming through with the goods, and the judge as well, just going to be spamming, looking for something in through the smoke. But the dark cover, it ain't going to stop those shockies from coming back the other way, and Leo just clears out the corner. Angel, even with the off position, is still going to be pre-fired.
Leo is
so it's anyone's
right now,
game
bro.
now with the 2v2. Oh, Spammy looking for the line. Chronicle ready for that fall away from Sugetsu, and Xiao now just waiting for Chronicle to swing. Big shot onto Leo to finish him off, and Chronicle knows he has to stick this. Time was ticking down, and out in the open, Xiao. Real damn sharp right now. Too hot right now.
Oh. How's this going to work out, though? 9-7 for Na'Vi. It's another clutch. It's another XVX. Coming down to only one player surviving. Fnatic's money, a little bit all over the place. They do get the spike down. So they do have incentive to force here, even if it's going to be a bit skew-if. Leo is playing insane right now. Just the spam, the pre-fire over towards close left on Graffiti side. Xiao, really nice 1v2 conversion there. That's big impact. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Fnatic. And I think heading into round 17 here, this is going to be a massive swing round. Are we going to get the force? Indeed, it is the force straight out from Fnatic. This might be the most important round of this game here.
Oh, Durka finds one through the dark cover. Even with that recon bolt not pulsing on him, the pre-fire was too much.
Boaster again,
now we
just
see
contacting into C.
Yeah, Boaster just getting so much space for free. Recon bolt at the back of sight just clears out all those nooks, all those crannies. And Chronicle, nice open plant as well. Hunter's Fury going to be invested just to zone them away, and not saving that one for the post plant, but we are going to see it go back the other direction, and Sugetsu just gets so much space for free. 2 headshots into 2 members that were not ready for that push out of Gary, and that's going to be the spike in the hands of Na'Vi. So you thought it was free real estate, but Na'Vi had another thing coming for Fnatic this round. And it looks like that might be all she wrote. You can see AlphaJut and Leo. 40 seconds on the clock, but they are happy as anything just to tuck away and save here in window and at the back of lobby. Navi, rather. 9-8 going to be the scoreline here with a flawless, unless they go too aggressive on the hunt. But you're looking at the money in the bank. They're probably really happy just to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, this is going to swing the momentum of this game so hard, right? Because this was the swing round, right? This was arguably the most important round of this half, maybe of this game. And Na'Vi win with 5 players surviving. This is going to stabilize their economy moving into round number 18 as the scoreline starts to get close. If they continue picking up momentum, if they continue picking up these next couple of gun rounds in some pretty clean fashion, they're going to have a much stronger economy as we head towards the tail end of this game, which is going to make Fnatic's life quite difficult. They're going to have to win multiple gun rounds back-to-back to be able to contest.
And that's not how you want to have to close out maps like this either. So we can see Fnatic going straight into a timeout. Quick replay as well, Sugetsu. He has just barely dodged that shot coming through from the Hunter's Fury. It was supposed to zone him away, but it pushed him forward. And that was probably the worst possible thing that could have happened to Fnatic then. No one ready for the bust in through the dark cover. Not dry like it was, but it just worked so well.
Yeah, difficult position here for Fnatic. They got some decision making to do, and I think it's a good time for a timeout. Have a chat about their position in this game and how they want to be approaching this next round, because they saved 2 rifles across. If they do want to try to force into it, the incentive of the force is just not even really there. Na'Vi's economy is rock solid. They survived with 5 rifles up, so even if you did win this round, you're not resetting the economy of the defense that hard. And realistically, it's going to kind of continue along the same trajectory. So I'm keen to see what their decision is going to be here from Fnatic. And I think it's, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a save, but it seems like they want to go for it. AlphaJut is 1 off of the lockdown. We'll see if they're going to go for any orb control. See if Na'Vi are going to play around that. You're already seeing a change of setup here for Na'Vi a little bit. You know, they've often had the Jet and the KO over towards this A side of the map. This time they're leaving just Angel solo over there. They're anticipating a B hit here. A fair bit of Killjoy utility invested in towards that B site. The Jet right off the rip standing up on top of the boxes. But it's not actually a B contact here for Fnatic or a set play. They are going for some A lobby control. Durka gets scanned by the dart. Fnatic doing pretty well. AlphaJut's done well to take grass control there. Set himself up outside of garage. Fnatic has got A lobby control. They're going to start sending the drone down sewer. Just making sure that they're pushing back Na'Vi, that Na'Vi doesn't have too much unfair information or unfair positioning. The issue here really for Fnatic as we head towards the minute mark is just look at Na'Vi's ult economy in a round like this. Lockdown and KO ultimate for the retake.
Yeah, I feel like you want to partially... That your goal as Fnatic right now is just to try to bait out as many of those ults as possible. And it's going to be a difficult one. You'll probably have to invest that Cosmic just to try to deny any vision. And it looks like it's just going to be the Nebula's in. So Cosy going to be held on to maybe for the post-plant. Site control is there. You can see Na'Vi extremely happy just to play for the retake with the lockdown of their own. But Alpha just got his online now, so we might see lockdowns traded. Suppression coming out on the players on site, and in comes that defender Killjoy. So CNET going straight on in with it. Oh, the pulse is too good. Cloudburst saves him. He's able to shoot through it. The opponent can't shoot back. CNET will fall though. Leo doing work for Fnatic. And now it's all down to Sugetsu, who's tapped it. Aftershock as well, trying to line that one up. 1v3 angle, pushing forward, 2 to get past. If he gets this working, that's ridiculous. AlphaJut going to be tucked away in the corner, but the timing's a factor, and the pre-fire was too much on a line like that. Fnatic working wonders to get a 10th on the board in a round like that. As you mentioned, Mitch, with Na'Vi having so many ults in the round.
Yeah, and a strong economy. I mean, that was kind of a risk to go for a force in a round like that. I'm surprised that went so well for them. Yeah. Why, honestly, like I thought it was going to be KO ultimate and lockdown on the retake. That was going to start pushing Fnatic outside of the site, and that was going to be all she wrote. But Fnatic unafraid to take duels from A long over towards heaven. Leo's feeling real confident right now. And as you saw that retake coming in for Na'Vi, it was pretty seamless, man. Fnatic able to win a lot of those duels and kind of disrupt the retake, and Fnatic feeling real confident about this A site now. They found success over there. It seemed like they did want to kind of contact towards lobby once again and maybe kick off a A-side exit, but they've changed their mind here. CNED on the operator for Na'Vi. It's another buy for them. They really don't have great ults this time. Fnatic definitely winning the ult economy. They've got the Cosmic and the lockdown here, and it's going to be a lockdown in Gary for the C split.
Big control, but as you can see, Xiao able just to stand at the back of C-Long, just tucked away at Plat. And we'll see how he's going to be able to get out, or if he's going to be able to at all. He's got to go and get himself detained, hoping that no one finds him on the back side. He couldn't make it into the dark cover, and that was so well executed from Fnatic. The aftershock, the flash towards the back of sight, forcing him straight into the killjoy. And now we see, with the numbers advantage, Na'Vi, they are still hunting for this one. Oh, knifing on the corner, Boaster. They knew exactly where he was tucked away. And Zypen as well, reading that with the fragment. Insane series of events. Unfortunate for Fnatic fans. Durka, though, able to find 2 from a position like that's ridiculous. And now in the 2v3, Na'Vi licking their wounds, keeping the op alive for the next round, but that's going to be 11 secured for Fnatic. Wow. One step closer to a W on map 1 of this semi.
That's unreal, man. That they got into that position and navigated their way out of it.
Yeah.
Like their economy was broken. They had 2 guns. They had a massive ult disadvantage heading into, what was that, round number 18. And if they had lost that round, that might have just been the game there. They win that gun round. They read the fact that it's a retake A setup for Na'Vi. They get an A execute. This round, it's just really, really nice pacing in terms of going for the garage control and then throwing down the lockdown and kicking off a C-side hit. The Cosmic keeps Na'Vi out of that round. And that's why Old Mate in the crowd is just so excited. He's just so impressed by the fact that Fnatic won those 2 gun rounds back to back and have now kind of put Na'Vi in the bin.
He looked ecstatic, didn't he?
He did.
He was absolutely pumped. Either way, quick timeout for Na'Vi, just having a little powwow as to how to turn this round on its head. Of course, they're going to need to, or Fnatic will be able to lock in a couple of map points to play with, and that's not where you want to be.
I saw what you did there. Lock in.
Oh, I didn't even notice. There you go. Not intended. Okay. I was a bit confused. I was like, what did I do? Huh? I use the term lock it in,
Eddie.
Like Eddie, like all the time, Mitch.
No one knows.
All the time.
No one knows what that means.
Let's take a quick stat check. Look at Leo, 20-9, rocking a 2KD against one of the bloody best teams in the world right now.
On the Sova.
And so easy.
Yeah.
He makes it look easy.
He does. These players are just some of the best in the world. Insane. Xiao throwing the operator and CNED gonna pop the knives. Na'Vi kind of trying to min-max what they can get out of a round like this. Give themselves an outside shot at winning it, because this game is going pear-shaped sooner rather than later. Fnatic just mixing things up. A hit into C, Gary split into B execute.
Ooh. Looking like it could be a dangerous affair, Zipan. Not going to be able to hold this time. The aggression too much, and Sugetsu falls as well, but CNED gets the reset with that kill. Many blades to play with. Boaster on the back side. If he peeks here, he could be in trouble, but he's holding down the back wrap. And that's going to be CNED falling. Xiao now, with an op in hand, is just looking to save, and you can see Durka as well. Knows exactly where that op was placed, so maximizing his chances by going and planting nice and open on the A site for the rest of the troops. And AlphaJ just ready for a potential push in through Gary as well. But look, unbeknown to Fnatic, you know, we can tell Xiao's saving here.
Yeah. Really wants to try to hold on to this operator for CNED if possible. Does have multiple TP options if he gets himself into a spot of bother. Every gun he can pull away from Fnatic at this point in the game is definitely worth it, but their economy is just looking more and more solid towards the tail end of this game. AlphaJ creeping up Gary. This is an armorless glass cannon operator, so if AlphaJ finds the right line here, Xiao's done for. Boaster makes contact first. AlphaJ throws out the nano. He's trying to jump shot him with the bloody shorty back, but Xiao connects on the shot. Durka trying to see if he can spam him through the box. That's excellent from Xiao. Takes 2 guns away, retains the operator. Those are no small feats in a tight game like this with 4 rounds of play left. Taking 2 extra guns could be the difference between you playing a gun round later on and resetting your opponents and trying to, you know, carve your way towards OT.
Yeah. Shout outs to the graphics guy as well, who unfortunately just moved the graphic that 1 second too late. And covered it up with a Na'Vi win, or Fnatic win rather. So obviously he's a bit of a Fnatic fan. Either way, 12-8, 4-round lead. Let's see what Na'Vi's going to be able to do to try and save the game on a buy like this.
It's a full C side exit. Good opener from Xiaomak.
Cloudburst in a good position to enable the space, but as you mentioned, Xiao doing work to live there. Good util to get himself off of site into a more safe position.
Cancel.
And Fnatic just, yeah, have to cancel off the
Look at Bosto, he's already creeping up B, trying to call the audible. He's been quite active on the aggressive lurk on the Astra here. He's going to trigger the alarm bot, give it a little tickle. Na'Vi trying to reset things in the 5-on-4, but Bosto just getting rid of that alarm bot. Already pushes and pulls the rotations again. The Nano invested to be able to take the turret out. Recently had the HP changes, and again, Fnatic just trying to kick things off into C.
Rolling Thunder, just creating a lot of space, but Sugetsu standing on logs. Has the high ground, and it looks like it as well. Xiao at the back of site is pretty much unkillable right now, and Chronicle, of course, thinking with util means you're not thinking with your gun. So you're going to get shot when there's many numbers around you, and Na'Vi, they give themselves a little breathing room with a 9th round on the board.
Yeah, and this is where, looking into round 22 and round 23, oh, that was an almost from Fnatic. You can see Sugetsu comes up massive that round. Rolling Thunder barely misses him. The fault line does connect, but a millisecond too late. And the first bullet accuracy on this man is just a little bit too good. Literally, first Vandal bullet hits Alphaja in the head. If there's even a millimeter of misadjustment there, Alphaja probably gets that entry. And we're talking about a different round. But those 2 guns taken away by Xiao before are looking quite brutal here. Because the money on Fnatic starting to run out. They are very resettable here. In fact, both teams starting to run out of cash. This is a very important swing round for Na'Vi. If they want to try to complete this comeback, they can break the money on Fnatic, and that's an anti-eco. 1 more gun round, and we're talking about OT. Alarm bot dealt with, and Fnatic just going to kick off this B site here with the Cosmic.
We'll see how it goes for him. Drone clearing the back of the Cosmic wall there, but the B side is there, and we are going to see this Killjoy. Even though it's right here, Plant's committed to Durka up on the top of site and pulls out the shorty. Not going to be able to find one on the Angel there. Chronicle waiting, gets that aftershock to try and buy some time and get them off the defuse if they were on it. But it's forced them away for the moment, and now Fault Line as well, just setting Leo up to try and peek there, try and get the line, but he's given it up. Angel low, Nano straight on the bomb, but I don't think they're going to be able to pop it in time, so now it's all down to the timing. There's a second. There was 1 more Nano in the pocket, and now it's looking a little bit difficult. Nano buys the time. They're expecting the swinging window, but the time, it's ticking. Cloudburst there. Half tick comes through, and CNED saves the day with a big shot on the op. Na'Vi securing 10 rounds.
Not only that, like winning that one-on-one for CNED also kind of breaks the money of Fnatic here. They've got enough to go for a half buy, maybe even a hero rifle on someone like Durka. Wouldn't be surprised to see him roll into a round like this with a Vandal. And indeed he will.
Spotted mid.
Na'Vi doing exactly what they're needing to.
1 enemy remains.
They just close out this anti-half buy. And they have got 1 more round in between them and OT.
Yeah.
Frustration for Fnatic is evident. Let's see what we're going to get for him. Durka trying to work this A lobby control before the KO knife does actually end up triggering. He's going to cloudburst his way out a long dart. Drone straight down middle. Spots Alphaja outside of Gary. He's going to get tickled by Sugetsu a little bit. Angel darting bottom mid. Trying to get a read for how much presence there is in towards. Oh, the forward dash from CNED by accident. Thank God there wasn't someone spaced close to Durka there. But Fnatic might even wrap back in towards lobby to try to pick up that rifle. And CNED knows it. He's going to stick around.
Yeah, he's on a very deep line. Still has that op to play with. So, he's happy to hang around, as you mentioned. No tailwind, though, so has to try and commit to a fight from that position. We are going to see that Nebula used to cross all the way to short now, but CNED ready for the lurk up. And not worried about long as well. Knows roughly what amount of time he has. Cloudburst in front of him. Just as a helping hand. Zipan coming through. And CNED just knows exactly what he can do and what he can't. And that's some more magic being made. 3 kills for him. He wants this 4th. And with 20 seconds on the clock, Chronicle, it's a tall task for him. 1v5 angle. I don't think the game's finishing right here, right now, Mitch.
Poor man. He's doing his best.
10 seconds left.
Stinger pretty good at that range. 8 bullets into Zippin. Gonna pick up the Phantom, but that's all she wrote for that round. Round 24 is a reality now. Both Leo down to 800. Is he gonna have to skip out on util? Oh no, he already had the drone in the back pocket, so no stresses there. He's got his Hunter's Fury online. Nice round for CNED to get himself warmed up. It was only the half buy that he dealt with, but he was kind of the alpha Chad that round, and that might kind of get him warmed up for not only the next gun round, but also looking in towards OT. So what are we working with here? Oh, KO ult, Hunter's Fury here for Na'Vi. Only the Hunter's Fury and one off the Rolling Thunder for Fnatic. Fnatic gonna try to clear some of the util top B with that shock dart, but it doesn't actually connect on a nano or the alarm bot. Yeah. So that is still present for Na'Vi, and they're going to allow the Killjoy to kind of monitor both garage and the B side here. There's the dart. It's going to be a timing dart for this C side execute. CNED clears the drone, looking for someone to peek him, but Fnatic not in a rush to actually kick off that C hit. They're just trying to pull the rotations over towards the C side of the map, and then they're going to try to work some garage control. Seems like they're trying to unsettle Na'Vi, force out some kind of a reaction before they commit to their play in the mid to late round. There's a dry. Hunter's Fury actually connects with Durka, but thank God it was the Jet. He's able to updraft, dash to safety, but now he doesn't have the dash for the entry in the mid to late round, and with 45 seconds on the clock here, Fnatic going to start dry contacting back towards the A side of the map. Look at this rotation here from Na'Vi. Yep. Both the Sova and the KO over here. Zippin has got full util and his KO ult ready to go, and he's going to pop the ult with 30 seconds to go.
Oh, that is definitely revealing their hand. However, we'll see where they opt to go. It has drawn 2 rotations over towards the A side, so the B side's open. There is the alarm bot in the way, Nano as well to try and slow down that plant, but it looks like that might just be dealt with in time. No, they're sticking it, they're committing through it. And CNED not going to be able to connect either. Alphaja gives his life to get that spike down. And now with the one-way on the top of site, it's looking difficult, but CNED hitting shots like that might just take us all the way to OT, but Fnatic answer with 4 out of nowhere. And Shao, in a 1v3 angle, has a lot to do. A Rolling Thunder to get past, and he's spotted going into the A-Link as well. Fnatic might have just won it with a great series of events. Dark cover onto the spike, but they ain't going to do it this time. 13-11 to close out map 1 of this best-of-5 semi-final, and Fnatic are ecstatic.
Yeah, I think OCE even knows it. Out of his seat, kind of cheering. I think his attack side calling definitely won them the game. Leo had a bloody phenomenal game there on the Sova, has to be said, but that calling on the attacking side, you can see both are even reading the rotations. A lot of aggressive lurking on the Astra, trying to feel out what the setup was for FPX. A lot of good reads and mixing up what site to hit, especially towards the mid to late stages of that Haven attack side. You know, Fnatic were going into A, into C, working the Gary splits, going for these B hits, and really mixing up the pacing, even right down to that last round. That was getting worrisome, man. They kicked off the round with the C pressure, which looked like it was going to be a C execute. They cancel that. They start working back towards Gary. Then they work back towards C. Then they work back towards A, but it gets cancelled by the KO wall, and they're able to go into the B side late and set themselves up a post plan. Yeah. And it was looking a little dicey, right? Like, it felt like Na'Vi with the man advantage were going to be able to complete that 5-on-4, but then you had old mates Chronicle and Leo just get a 4K in the matter of like 3 seconds, and then the round's over.
Yeah, and Leo, look, has to be the MVP for this game. Man was popping off on the Sova. Big impact recon bolts coming through at many points of the game. Also setting up the rest of the players for success. That being said, everyone from Fnatic really held their weight, did their job, and that's exactly what got them across the line. which is interesting. But of course, how close this map got, moving into Na'Vi's map pick, that's where things are going to get difficult for Fnatic. They'll have the high, they'll have the adrenaline coming out of map 1, but also know that that's in the back pocket. So might be that little bit less pressure for them to worry about as they move on in the series.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. I don't know how you felt about it, but I actually felt that, at least individually, I didn't feel like Na'Vi was playing that well that game. Which is just a testament to, like, you know, they still got 11 rounds. They still almost clawed that into OT. The overall system is just operating on such a high level that they just make themselves so tough to beat. Even if they're not really playing that well individually, they don't look super switched on. I think Fnatic, the individuals were definitely looking sharper in that game of Haven. They still barely won it by just inches.
Inches is a good way to put it as well, because at that point, I think Na'Vi were man up on that retake, and then all of a sudden those 4 kills came through, and it was just like, no OT. And that was it. And look, I'm glad there's no OT, because that means we get to map 2. And to get to map 2, we've got to go to a break. Ladies and gents, don't go too far. Go get a coffee, because it's early in the morning. Unless you've been up all night, get some water and get ready for bed. Either way, look, map 2 is coming up just after the break.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Land in Berlin for the first ever Game Changers World Championship. They have dominated their region domestically.
Doesn't really matter if you're the best in the region.
Come on, guys, focus up! What the f are you doing?
having the first international LAN is going to be very pivotal. We're making history.
How are you doing this to them?
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're good.
You're insane.
You're insane.
In the head.
True.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the lock-in in Sao Paulo, where we currently witnessed a extremely solid match on map number 1 of the series, which was Haven. Of course, we're moving into the other map that has 3 spike sites, and that, of course, is going to be Lotus. But before we do, let's quickly talk about what went down there on Haven. It was interesting. There were some crazy plays coming through from both sides. But look, as you mentioned, it felt like Na'Vi kind of went missing. There was multiple points where they were missing kills where, like, on the VODs I was reviewing the other day, they were not missing those shots. And, like, that's what I mentioned even early on in the broadcast, that their crosshairs looked good. There were points where their aim was fine. It's just the bullets did that thing where, you know, the slight inaccuracy of movement or the slight inaccuracy of going for those sprays just seemed to miss the hitbox or something, and they just got diffed. Fnatic were hitting everything, and it was one round that it came down to at the end of it.
Yeah, and I think that's why I love watching these highest level teams in the world, like especially the EMEA teams, like even someone like Angel's team, where, and even go back to like FPX, they have some of the most individually skilled players in the world, but even when some of those players aren't firing up, like, I feel like Sugetsu was on that game. CNED was kind of like hit or miss. Angel wasn't really like firing up. Like, some of the individuals were kind of going missing, whereas it felt like Fnatic as a core were very warmed up, were very sharp that game. And it was still a tight game that went to all 24 rounds. Realistically, that 5-on-4, that last round, could have been OT, could have been a different story. And that just shows just how tough of a team that Na'Vi is to beat. Even if they're not playing their 100%, they're like playing... I felt like they played their B game on Haven, and they still got 11 rounds. That's just this level of competition, man. It is tough. Fnatic pick up that first win, though. So Haven goes their way. They go up 1-0 in the series. Now we move on to Lotus. Bit of a newer map in the pool. Interesting to see that make it through. Haven't seen Fnatic play it yet this tournament. Na'Vi's got 1 rep on it against Crew, which is in the round of 16, and they had a 10-1 attack side. That is pretty nasty.
Well, look, to be fair, it has been a good week or so, or, you know, slightly less than a week. That's a lot of days for them to prep and, you know, figure out these new maps, which they probably were practicing. They might not have had to show just yet.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. And you know that Fnatic, they've got the coaching staff, they've got the intelligence to work up some kind of plan on a map like this. But that being said, it is Na'Vi's map choice, so we'll see how it works.
Yeah, Leo was absolutely massive in that game at Haven. Right from start to finish, he was multi-fragging up a Storm. I really think he set the pace and he set the tempo for that game. You know, we kicked off that game with some very slow defaults on the attacking side of Haven from Na'Vi. They were taking a lobby controller going into the A site, and they were just running into Leo as a brick wall. He was multi-fragging them on every bloody angle. And I think when you kick off a game like that, it can definitely slow down the momentum for one of the teams. The first game of the series in a big pressure game, you're playing an opponent just popping the hell off, is multi-fragging up a Storm. I really do think that those kind of early performances from an individual player definitely would have made the difference in that Haven game. If Leo isn't playing, I mean, it's obvious to say he was the best player on the server and they won a very tight, narrow game, 13-11. But if right from start to finish, he wasn't outputting that level, I don't think they get that dub.
Yeah, I feel like that is the case. And if Leo can't keep that consistency between maps, then that's when Fnatic could be in trouble, right? However, look,
I mean, I think he's going to be pretty good. He's the second highest rated player in the game. In fact, after that game, he might even be the top. Not quite. He almost surpassed Xiao. Him and Xiao were the top 2. Xiao had an alright one and he had a phenomenal one.
And also, that being said, Xiao was also left in like 1vx scenarios very regularly, or caught off on his own, you know, anchoring that C site. So maybe these maps as well, where you have to have a little bit more anchoring, have to have a little bit more individual presence, can let you down in terms of the stats department. So we might see a bit more from Xiao moving into Lotus as well. It's agent select time. What do you think we're going to see?
Well, the only team that has a rep on this map is Na'Vi. So we'll see if they're going to change up their comp at all. So far, it's looking 100% similar. Yeah, they're just going to go with the same comp. They had a really nice attacking side. I think they're going to start defense though. Fnatic picked attack first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fnatic going with a different approach though. They're going to go for the double controller, mix in the Viper in combination with the Astra, but the core of the agent comps are the same. So we'll see how that does go. I think looking stylistically at these two agent comps, there's definitely a very different philosophy behind them, right? You've got Na'Vi, they're liking the initiator, they're liking the flexibility, they're going to have a bit more explosive potential. You'll be able to pop into sides pretty quick with the KO raise combos. Whereas Fnatic, they're going to have a much slower style. They're going to have to be much more measured. They've got the Viper. It's going to be these Viper walls. It's going to be these lurk plays, playing the information denial game, playing a little bit slower, a little bit more lurky. And, you know, just naturally, it's going to make for an interesting game between the two teams stylistically.
Oh, keen to see how it all works out. Arguably, less sky, less walls today. We had a lot of that yesterday, and we're also seeing two different maps which were not in yesterday's Best of 5 series. So I wonder how that's going to change the dynamic of whoever makes it to the grand final. You know, EMEA versus the Americas, the reigning champions of Loud. But we're straight into the pistol, and there's not too much chaos going on yet. You can see that Viper wall's over towards the A site, so we might see Fnatic go for an A site finish, but they're also showing some presence towards that C site. One-way smoke with the dark cover over towards C long as well means Fnatic, they are not going to go towards C long.
It's a circle jump here from Alpha Chart over on that A side of the map. Prowler pushes CNED off the B info line. Chronicle going to park himself outside of B, puts up the Viper wall. And this is what I was talking about when we talk about the differing styles of these two teams. Fnatic going to have to play a lot slower, a lot more measured pacing from them. Toxic Screen goes up, they creep out A lobby. Turret and Boombot take some space, and Fnatic pick up the pace into A.
Little paint shell zoning. Haunting the way as well. It looks like Sugetsu. Oh, missed opportunity. Fnatic trades coming through real damn good. Boaster as well, expecting that drop down towards the back of sight. Durka straight up onto the platform, and that's going to be a big pick through. And Angel 2, 1v5 angle. Mans is in trouble and is probably not going to find a round, but we won't write him off just yet. He has been pretty sharp. Leo, Dirk, both quite low here. Unfortunately for Angel, there was a flank coming, and that's Chronicle, who's kept it flawless for the pistol. Fnatic off to a cracker of a start on map 2.
They're doing well on attack. This was the weaker of the two halves for Na'Vi up against Crew, though. They actually went 3 and 9 on defense on this map. So if they're going to have a rough start on towards the defense, that would be kind of reminiscent of the other game that they played. And I think Fnatic's going to be a bit of a tougher opponent than Crew will be most days of the week. Interesting to see neither one of these teams is a big fan of the chamber. Both of the primary duelist players, despite being quite proficient operators, are preferring to roll out with the raise. So the opping potential going to be a little bit more limited for both of these teams, I guess. Start of this round, though, Sugetsu going down. Fnatic working themselves a nice little slow default.
You do say that, but we did see multiple Killjoys picking up the op yesterday, so...
Yeah.
It of course isn't... Oh, I love when people know how to use their turrets correctly. It's just so good.
It's crazy. It's almost like these are some of the best teams in the world.
Players in the world. Yeah, it's crazy. They've worked out how the game works. And Fnatic have worked out how to aim too. Durka just cracking open the C side of the map. Ready for that swing over towards the sand mound. And that's going to be the C side open for business. We'll see if Xiao and CNED can maybe make something happen. Definitely expecting a lurk somewhere from some point, and they are just going to be coming in from C-Link, so...
Paint shells to zone the CTP. It's a double retake from Waterfall. Durka looking to get it all done himself. On for 3. He wants to chase for that last frag, because if he converts it, he's one off his showstopper here.
So, picking up that Marshall instead, knowing he is quite low, but he won't find the shot, won't get it off. And the trade ain't there either yet, so we'll see if CNED's going to be able to find some more damage. No. Chronicle ready for the swing. And we're here on land as well, so these shots are probably going to be connecting.
That's interesting. Chronicle prefers the Frenzy over the Sheriff there. I mean, Durka dies, so he's still one off Showstopper. That B orb looking pretty tasty, and you're a little bit more limited in what you can do contesting the B orb on defense without the breach. That's another interesting thing, but neither one of these teams liking the breach. So no breach, no chamber, no Cypher.
Yeah, different to what we've been seeing.
Yep.
In our region here.
I mean,
ooh,
yeah, just in
nice
general.
haunt.
Yeah, the Haunt up the top, trying to contest Angel. He's throwing a one-way over towards C to try and contest that part of the map, make it difficult for Fnatic to take space. Alpha, he's having a whale of a time, mate. You know, his job is literally to circle jump for 45 seconds every round. And he's loving life. He is licking walls. He's looking at textures. Absolutely thrilling gameplay.
He just has to make sure no one's making their way to ruins, of course. You can see all those pings on the map. You know, that's not cleared over at the back of ruins. Someone needs to keep an eye on that. And with the wall up now, they're going to start to make their way in. As you mentioned, Knife going to get a good ping, couple of suppressions onto Fnatic. And you can see how stacked this A site is as well. They're very ready for it.
Yeah,
but of course, if they can break the wall, there's a chance they can rotate back to B instead. But with the orb and 40 seconds, Mitch, they're not sure what they want to do.
Yeah, they kind of don't have time, really. I think Fnatic are going to try to cause a little bit of a fake on one part of the map. They're actually going to B-split it. Door gets broken. In goes the Prowler from Leo. You've got Angel playing from heaven here, playing for the spam. Shao looking to contest also. What a shot from Durka. He's got the showstopper ready to go for picking up that orb as well. Paint Shell's going to zone. This is an easy plant for Leo, and now this retake becomes so difficult.
Mate, that was a line. Durka, he's played a little bit too much Lotus, if you ask me. Showstopper forward, trying to connect. Won't find anyone, but he has to get it off before that suppression comes through. So
another great knife.
Had to rip it. And now Na'Vi looking to make this retake happen. Angel finding the lurk over towards a long and trying to make their way in from the broken wall. Durka, the lineup. It's his round. It's his bloody world here. And in the 2v4, Na'Vi not thinking about it anymore. Maybe a paint shells to heaven. Chronicle going to be able to find that onto CNET. And Fnatic, they are here to play on the attacking side of Lotus.
Insane from Durka. And insane stuff from Fnatic. Similar to what we saw on their attacking side of Haven. They're quite comfortable. And this is something that it just shows how solid Boaster is as an IGL. They are super comfortable with situations where, you know, they went for that A lobby control. They're running out of time. The clock's running low. So many less experienced IGLs and less experienced teams will feel like they have to force A there. But Fnatic just keep their cool, they keep their calm, they keep the A pressure on, which maintains the rotations on that side of the map. They just go for a nice little B split. And look, it helps to have Durka on your team. At the end of the day, man is pretty good at Valorant, it turns out.
Can I just point out how much I'd love to be in London at that Fnatic viewing party, sinking a couple of frothies with the boys? Where's the Australian, you know, watch party? Is it here? Are we all at home?
On a Thursday.
What happened?
On a Thursday night. It's a little bit difficult, but I don't know what the excuse is.
It's Friday
tonight.
night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yesterday, viewing party, difficult. Today, I mean, maybe. I'm sure there would have been some sort of, not a structured, you know, proper viewing party, but...
Mate, Thursday night's uni night, all right? You just, come on.
True.
You did uni different.
I did it mostly online, mate, so...
Yeah.
Most exciting
modern age.
Most exciting thing about Thursday night for me is late night shopping. That just tells you a little bit about my life.
Yep,
Absolutely thrilling. Like I am literally the IRL equivalent of Alpha circle jumping a lobby for 45 seconds. Like this is me. This is what I do in my everyday life. I'm just sitting there like, yep, I'm existing.
It's happening again. But he now knows that there's definitely been some aggression towards that Ruins side. Angel will get out of the range of the turret, so could stay at Ruins if he wants. But they are just going to make that flash play happen.
Turret OP, bro. That man's throwing hands. Here's this C side here. There's already 3 here for Na'Vi, though.
Ooh, paint shells could do some damage.
Sees.
Zone him away. Sees, connects onto Boaster, who's going to be locked in for the moment. Nebula as well on the front of sight, stops a lot of those angles from working. We are going to see that boombot clearing out the lines before everyone goes forward. Turret as well going to be dealt with, and sight is there, but they don't really have it. Na'Vi connecting for 3, and Alphaja needs to take this contact. He's got this spike, but no control of the site to plant. There is going to be this corner, which he could maybe tuck away in, but the post plants from there are going to be extremely limited. Push forward towards that C link. That fountain position, and Chronicle looks like he's going to try to fight fire with fire. Timing on the two-man swing looks good. Angel falls, and that's going to be some map control now for Fnatic. Oh, the blast pack peak is not strong enough this time. Alphaja ready and gets 3 in the post plant, saving the day for Fnatic. A thrifty, definitely on the cards there for Na'Vi, but unfortunately they've dropped the bag.
Yeah, crisis averted for Fnatic. They would complete the 2-on-3 or 2-on-4. Got scary there for a second, undoubtedly though. Back on the gun round here for the Na'Vi boys. They did a little bit of economic damage there, but realistically it's not going to matter too much. Fnatic's economy is insane. They have been fragging pretty hard, and the numbers on Na'Vi are pretty low. And look, that does have a macro effect on the game. If you're not fragging, you are not taking guns away from the other team. They're going to have a strong economy, and you are going to have a tough time. Simple as that.
You should run.
Well, lockdown going to be invested, and it looks like Fnatic are going to be all in over towards C. You can see Na'Vi, I think they tried to break that lockdown, but Util not quite hitting the mark. Prowler forcing Cena to right back. Man's blinded up, and that means it's going to be Shao fighting solo, so he'll go down. Boast up, ready for the swing, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. So 4v4, where did Fnatic go?
The timing on that nano wasn't quite right, unfortunately, which means that 1-for-1 ensues. Chronicle has often been left on the lurk, has often been dropped off. Boast are quite aggressive on the lurking. Over on Haven, what a shot from Angel with the Guardian. Nice little counter strafe. Catches Alphaja in transition. Boaster seeing if he can find a timing after the A pressures come in. That player was spotted crossing over towards the A side of the map. You can see Chronicle applying pressure over towards this A side. Oh, he could have caught Angel there, but not quite. CNED goes down over here on this C site, which is now wide open for a post plant. Leo getting back into sight here. Oh, that's cute.
They got to throw it up.
That's cute. Little bit of juggling going on there. Boaster's going to get this open plan over for Mount. Not a whole lot of util, but the Cosmic's online here for Boaster.
The only option to get that planted as well. If he ran, there was no time. So good to see Fnatic realize that. Oh, high ground works for one. But now it's down to Leo, who's been popping the hell off for Fnatic. Open plan as well. And he might just be able to play a sneaky timing, way more aggressive than what Na'Vi were ready for. Sugetsu goes down as well. And Leo comes through for a huge clutch. Fnatic not dropping around yet here on Lotus.
Again, it's playing better individually, bro. This whole series. It feels like all of the Fnatic players are playing at a higher level than what Na'Vi is able to put together.
Yeah. Agreed.
All of the clutches, all of the XVXs, the multi-frags. Na'Vi need to switch the hell on, or they're going to be bowing out in the semi-final here. Another half buy for them. Where's that orb off to?
The toxic orb?
Yeah.
That's on the main choke, see?
Is it on the box choke or the deep choke?
It just activated.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah,
I guess you can put both up and deny full info. That's kind of cool. Or you can do a bit of a kind of progression thing.
Yeah.
Wall up and then you A orb up, and if they're playing deep in the A site, you're actually threatening to lurk into spawn. Or the B
and if you don't wall up, yeah, you can go into stairs. So it could be interesting. Alphaja finally gets some action rather than the circle jumping.
Yeah, he's getting bored. Quite honestly, is the truth. You know,
That's all it is.
This game has gone a little bit too easy. It is a little bit of a spice in his life. He wants to see if he could die from the pistol. He just wants to feel something, bro. He just wants to die to a pistol and his teammates to go a bit nervous.
Feel something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so true. Let's see if Na'Vi can get some extra damage done. Angel leaning into the Guardian again. Knowing that he's that little bit cheaper, so he can keep on trying to get that extra damage, and he knows that they need to find something, but around... Oh, not going to be coming out. Oh, that turret placed in a rough position. It's not going to activate at all, and Dirk has found the timing past it. No good there from Na'Vi. Time is a factor, but Fnatic are in full control. And Alphaja are ready for the swing from Xiao. It's Leo to take it. And not much going on there from CNET either. At least managed to get one with the classic onto Durka, but had to get that reload going on the gun, so no chance to fight back with the aggression coming through. And that's going to be 6-0.
Careful here.
CNET pulling out the operator on the Raze. Just going to be an interesting dynamic. You know, usually you want you to send your Raze over towards sewers to be able to, after you take a main control on defense, set him up.
Yeah.
But usually that's with breach util. Not really an option here. Fnatic going to switch things around though. Durka going to control that B orb choke. We've got Fade Eye over towards A main. CNET hyper aggressive up on the route with an operator on a deep line. He's really contesting A main here. Cosmic comes in. It's a B set play. Paranoia comes in through C, and see Angel taps the door, which baits out the peak from Boaster. Excellent stuff from Na'Vi to get the man advantage. And with the Nightfall coming in from the Fade ult, this B site Exe has been cancelled. CNET gets another pick.
Oh, shots coming through. Durka, too strong at the moment. 4v3 now. And CNET just tearing that showstopper, having to get it off.
I love that position from Angel. You know, not playing the beta male headshot angle, just top of the mound.
Yeah.
Fight me, bro.
Off angles work, man. It really tests if Fnatic have been, you know, playing their aimbots, playing the aim labs. And, ooh, okay, Alphaja. Not going to hard clear tree here. Xiao finally getting some action over towards the A site. And on that contact, it hasn't fully drawn the rotations, but it's drawn Angel deep enough that now the C site is open for business. Durka, oh, doesn't have the gun in hand. And now that's going to be Spike on the ground. Leo has to run for it, has to make it happen, but it looks like he doesn't back himself. So opts to just fight and try to take more guns out of the hands of Na'Vi instead. Gives the round. And Na'Vi finally on the board.
He's trying to make it expensive, which honestly in the macro, look at the macro aspect of this game, if he's able to take one or two more rifles, I think Leo knows there, like, realistically quite hard to scale onto the side if someone's posted up from waterfall, and he's expecting maybe someone close to scale onto him. So, you know, he doesn't need to win that 1-on-3 in the grand scheme of this game. If he could take one or two rifles away from Na'Vi, if he's punishing some of these players who are getting a little bit antsy, trying to really desperately win that round, then realistically, looking at Fnatic's economy, they can rebuy Fnatic. Na'Vi, on the other hand, though, their money would have been sketchy if they didn't survive with 3 there. And even now, it still kind of is. Xiao looking a little bit poorer. Zippin quite poor himself. Oh dear, straight through the Nebula. Alphaja almost takes CNET out of the equation before this round even kicks off. Fnatic now going for the lobby control. Orb and wall goes up. Boombot straight into stairs, and we're going to kick off an A site execute.
Oh, Leo out of the equation. Things get that much easier for Na'Vi from here. 5 alive still. And site control in the hands of Fnatic. But they've got time. They don't have to force anything if they don't want to. Alphaja dropping what he could have picked up there. And it might have worked out for him. Boaster, Alphaja, who's gone in through his own nano straight into the Nebula. CNET falling. But Alphaja in even more of a rough position. Fragment stopping him from going in towards that CT spawn position. And we'll just tuck away in the corner. Wait for the smoke to dissipate, and it looks good. Him to find these 1v1s. First found, second, not one. Sugetsu ready and waiting for the peak in the trade, and that's going to put a second on the board for Na'Vi.
Similar to the game of Haven right now, that's the vibes I'm getting. Fnatic are bigger, faster, stronger. They're multi-fragging better. They're winning these clutches. They're looking like the more well-drilled, switched-on team. But even Na'Vi operating at, 75% are creeping in. So that's 2 in a row for them. And Fnatic, I think, recognize that that's a danger sign. Even after just those 2 rounds, they want to take the time out nice and early on. What would you spell, Mac, with the boys?
What would I spell?
Yeah.
With my sticks?
With your sticks.
Love.
Oh. I did not expect you to say that.
I love the boys, and I love Valorant. Huh?
I love Lockie.
And there's not enough love in the world, Mitch.
It's true. I've been looking for that.
I think you've been having a bit too much love, mate. Look.
Maybe.
With the gym, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Making love to the weights. That's what you save that energy for.
Make sure you put them back in order, though.
Not at my gym, no.
Oh, who was it that I went with the other day that looked at the dumbbells being arranged at my gym and was like, that's pretty good. And there was like a few out of order. I can't really remember. Anyway, look. Personal anecdotes aside that are not really relevant to Valorant as a whole. Na'Vi building up a little bit of cash. Their economy starting to stabilize. Fnatic mixing things up, though. They are sick of this C-long control, Mac. They do not care. No respect given to Angel at all. They run at him. They clean him out of the mount. And now a 3-on-5 right off the bat.
The absolute nuisance has been dealt with. Man down. CNED ready for the swing from the back of sight. But we'll see what Fnatic opt to do. They've got some decent map control to get it planted. But, of course, Fountain going to be smoked off, and CNED as well. Going to try to deny that plant. Those blast packs, an absolute nuisance, just trying to buy some extra time. And again, you love to see that staggered U-tilt. Durka up top, ready for that push from Sugetsu. Xiao on the short side, tanking the nano, cost him a pretty point of health or 2, and Boast are going to be able to slip off site just in time. But they know where both the remaining Na'Vi players are. So Xiao and CNED looking like they are just going to be licking their wounds and saving what weapons they have for the moment.
Fnatic giving a lot of respect. Pit invested in a round like that. Leo's popping his head up and down above it. But
I think he's had it for a few rounds though, right?
Yeah,
it's like one of those things where may as well use it.
Hello. CNED. Spotted in tree. Tries to go for the jump peak. Very ambitious. Mate.
Oh, and Xiao.
Oh, he could probably retain that operator for old mate Ned Flanders.
We certainly can off the back of that. Do you think if anyone was watching from overseas, they would understand what we're talking about?
Nah.
Like,
That's why we do our own
understand
stream.
what Ned Flanders is.
We got to do our own stream, man. No one understands the absolute
no one understands what a
mental
nickname
illness
is.
that goes on.
A nickname for an alias that's already technically a nickname that the player wants, but we're not going to give them the respect.
No.
No.
Everyone's just called old mate as far as I'm concerned. Alpha chart being suppressed over on the A side of the map is no surprise to Na'Vi.
Zip amp. Able to find one there, but in the one and done position, it's worked slightly better for Fnatic. And now you can see him just tearing in through the A side. Of course, turret going to be used to clear out the close lines. And tree as well. That's going to be in the hands of Fnatic. So, rotations coming through, but Na'Vi already looking worse for wear. Xiao going to have to hit some crispy ones if he wants an opportunity here. Nanos as well, slightly off the spike, but should deny that plant. Oh, Sugetsu, even the odds. And we are going to see lockdowns going both ways, almost timed out now. Xiao going to be detained here, drops the haunt, has to hold on to it.
Ooh.
And that's going to buy so much extra time with so many players getting detained.
Yeah.
Things slow down.
CNED trying to guard the bodies, mate.
Yeah.
I think they just got to save.
The time, it's ticked too far. And they're going for it. They know they need a round. Alpha though, in an alpha position, stopping the cross back to the spike, and that should lock down the round. Those nanos just buying so much time. Those lockdowns just so awkward.
No, that's brutal.
But either way, that was a big round from Fnatic.
This is what I'm saying. Like, the Na'Vi just don't look switched on. Like, they are one of the best teams in the world. But that 3-on-5, like, what was going on there? Honestly, like, they're committing into a lockdown. Like, that's the kind of thing that you'd see in our region, Mac. Like, they're just not timing out the lockdown correctly, and 2 of them get detained. And with the double nanos on the spike, they just couldn't possibly even have the time to win the round, even in the best case scenario.
You're my best case scenario, Mitch. I just want you to know that, if you're ever in doubt. All right, I like that one way with the dark cover. Unfortunately, look, that turret's still going to reveal Na'Vi's aggression.
Do yourself a favor. Do not PP your defense. We got some shooters posted up, mate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, look, this is what I'm saying. Alpha, he's looking for some spice in his life. He's been circle jumping for years.
He found that turmeric, Mitch.
Yeah. There, Cosmic, up the poster. Force suppress. Dude, Zipper's knives are absolutely cancer to play against, mate.
Yeah, placed perfectly, timed perfectly. The full scan, Fnatic have to cancel. And with 40 on the clock, they could go for that rotation back towards the B side.
Dirk has been vocal right now. You can see him in the cams. He's feeling like he can get in there.
Ooh, flash forward, slows him down, Prowler. Clears out the back of sight, but let's see. Because there is 3 members all tucked away in all these smokes. Angel going to be dropping his own dark cover to play on the front of sight. No one's going to expect him on this short side. You'd never clear it. And the spam's going everywhere but where Angel is. The time looked good, but that smoke timed out too. And with the gravity well, that's going to be more than enough space, but they need to get the spike down. And that's going to be tucked into the corner now. The spam, it's there, but it won't quite commit to the kill. And in the 2v1, Shao needs to hit some crispy ones, but it ain't going to happen. 9-2, Fnatic get through the pistols, no matter how much it cost them. But at the same time, they've won so many rounds. Look at the cash. They got stonks for the rest of the half here.
It's just another missed opportunity for Na'Vi, isn't it? Like, they got a three-man setup on the C side. And look, you know, for mere mortals like us, Mac, yeah, fair enough, you missed a couple of sheriff shots. But at this level of competition, you know, top 4 at lock-in down in Sao Paulo, these are the kind of players that you're expecting any one of them to be capable of. Sheriff on the C side, that can be a multi-frag situation. Is the TP up onto Rubble? Haven't really seen too much of this from Na'Vi, to be honest. There you got the fragment, seize, and nade. Do not step foot in this choke point. You will die. And Fnatic, they slow things down. They dodge all that utility. Alpha back on the operator yet again.
Well, the plan's working. You can see they use so much util. That was countered by Fnatic. They've just gone straight to C, but Navi's beat him on the rotation, so it's going to be a 3v4 over in this spot. And they've got the Killjoy set up here as well. One of those nanos. Look at that. It's coming from the wall. You can't walk through that unless you want to die. And CNED ready at any given moment to get that kill. Ripper showstopper. One's going to be coming his direction. Durka connects. That's going to be one more found from CNED. Able to pick up another. Paint shells to zone, and Boaster looking to lurk in from the short side of sight. All the way up towards that back box. And it seems like Na'Vi aren't fully aware just yet. CNED falls in the process. And we've got Fnatic with a numbers advantage again. Boaster with a lot of control on site. And with 30 on the clock, Fnatic just taking things slowly and cutting sound.
Boaster can hear everything from behind the box here. But Angel's read this. Oh, the crosshair placement. Just, you could see him frustrated in the cams there, Mac. He knew that he just lost concentration for half a second. Eyes on the minimap, and Boaster peeked him even though he had the read. He knew exactly what Boaster was up to, but it's just a bit old.
Fnatic really playing mind games with Na'Vi at the moment, and they're winning. Not only by rounds, but also mentally. Zippin, 1v3 angle, and just util going to be staggered for days. Gravwell at the ready, Nanos just constantly coming. And vulnerable not once, but almost twice there from the Gravwell. Big shot coming through. Okay. I thought this was unwinnable. Turret is looking the wrong way. The turret's gone backwards. Either way, Leo swings in to get a 10th, and that's going to be double digits in the first half.
Like,
Fnatic
disrespect, bro. That's like when old mate be helping you up Nana backwards at you because he's better. You know, you just up 9-2. Just turret backwards. All good.
Just one of those accidental misclicks in the processor, chaos going on. That, or he was big brain and you know, making sure that if that door was opened, look, they knew about it. The sound wasn't enough.
Man, Na'Vi really not rocking up to this game, Mac. To be fair, they had a pretty similar run of things against Crew on their defensive side of Lotus here. So
the thing is, though, is 2 rounds enough to work with?
I don't know. Last time they went 9-3 and they won 13-10.
Okay.
Sorry, they went 3-9 on defense and then they won 10-1 on attack and smashed them. So their attack is, I mean, you know, it's one game sample size against a worse team. But look, in theory, it's happened before. Doesn't mean it can't happen again. The thing is, I'm just not getting the vibe from Na'Vi, Mac. I'm just really not.
I'm not getting the vibe from anyone. Everyone's taking this too seriously. Cameras in their grills, and they're not showing off. What has happened to Fnatic? Like, that's the question everyone's asking.
I'm really wondering
right
if the headband is serious from Boaster. Is it a practical headband, or does he think he's in Naruto? I need to know. Is he going to Naruto run if they win this series around the circular arena?
Camera guys to show me, because I was not paying that much attention to his head. But I will right now. Oh, wait, up top? Is it to hold his hair back?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. It's got, you know, practical use.
Yeah, that's what someone said to me, like, in the gym, was like, just wear a headband. And I'm like, why wouldn't I just wear headphones or a cap? Like a normal person.
Yeah, I could imagine that headband is doing work, because if you had little bits of your fringe, you know, whipping around in all these fans on everyone's bloody desk, that'd be so annoying. It'd ruin your concentration. And these guys, they're playing for bank, they're playing for glory, they're playing to be the Omega bracket champs at the moment. And they're doing pretty well doing that, aren't they?
Yeah, tilting the monitor, give it a little tap, tell an old mate, hold on. Take a look at this, buddy. Love to see it. Interestingly enough,
CNED sits so far away from his monitor.
CNED.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called healthy posture, Mac.
The posture's still bad. He's just really far away from his monitor.
He may as well just screw his eyes up as well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I respect anyone that can play.
He's screwed either
with
way,
the
mate.
monitor slightly far away.
I'd play medium, I would say.
No, you don't.
I don't.
No, I'd say you play close.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I've seen you set up.
Yeah.
I play close.
You've been over, you know, you've been over to my place a couple of times.
Yeah, I went over there once or
twice.
Not actually twice.
All right.
One time's enough.
Paint shells onto B. A lot of pressure over on the B side, but it's actually a C hit. Coming on in here for Na'Vi. Orb goes up though with a snake bite. Guess what? You're not getting in, boys. BL.
No.
Alpha Jar. His whole purpose in life is to hold this one choke point. On attack, on defense, and this time Angel's got the better of him.
It's all he knows on the map.
He's so sick of looking at one doorway. He just wants something different in his life.
Where's that spice? And look, with him going down, all this KJ util is useless. And we are going to see Na'Vi call the audible and go in over towards that B site. Of course, that defensive toxic screen kind of allows them straight out to site. It is going to be the plant right in the middle of pit. And Fnatic happy to attempt to go for the retake. 2 frenzies here, 1 prowler, paint shells as well from Durka to try to get back in, and a haunt as well. So this is util that can be combined pretty damn well. Oh, corner not going to be cleared. Chronicle able to get the trade, but Na'Vi positioned to peek off each other's contact means this is going to be way too hard for Fnatic to close. I say that, but Leo's still living, and so's Durka. These two can make anything happen out of any bloody where. Leo going forward. Spot the right side. Half tick comes through. Durka tapping. They know that it's half tick now, but his head's up. And that's going to be shot by Sugetsu for a third. So Na'Vi coming through with a pistol with the third round and looking to double their rounds already in the second half.
Yeah, I think, you know, this is where you look at how strong their attack side was on this map last time, and I don't know, they could get back into this one. It was an excellent first half from Fnatic. Excellent start from him. Was that a... Did he just right-click that? Surely not. I wasn't looking at the ammo.
It sounded like it.
Navi's approach to anti-ecos is insane to me.
Chaos, Angel, even though he's been fully tagged up by the Haunt, he still commits to that TP across to Ruin side anyway.
Dude, look at Angel. He's literally bought light armor and util.
Well, Alpha just bought a shorty, and we're going to get right up in the grills of Na'Vi here. Angel really is saving for something.
Well, this is what they always do. Like, even in FPX and Na'Vi as well, their approach to anti-eco is 3 rifles and 2 people on bonus. Every time. And there's actually a pretty good video out there about this that I might link you later on.
Yeah, it's... I get the theory.
Yeah.
I like it, because if you're sending people in first and you can pick up those weapons
Not
anyway,
only that, but also big picture round to round. It min-maxes into more buys later on.
Yeah. Well, both start with the shorty. Going to be tagged up by that Prowler up on the box. Absolutely robbed of the element of surprise. Oh, gets it! Wraps around behind CNED. And the spacing's not good from Na'Vi, so Man's going to be able to get a reload. Wrap it around again. Almost able to find another, but it's done enough to buy the time for these rotations to come through. So big damage on this Thrifty, on this Eco. But at the same time, it's not enough for a round. But it was chaotic.
I mean, as long as Xiao picks up this rifle, this is exactly the point of a round like this, Mac, you know? They're not actually going to lose anything. As long as they maintain 3 players alive, they end the round with the same amount of rifles they started the round with.
I feel like we didn't see a single Guardian, or if we did, like, not many Guardians picked up yesterday. It feels like Na'Vi, the only team I've seen out of the top 4 so far that is picking up this weapon. Unless there is, like, no better option for Fnatic. Alpha Jut, happy to go down with the ship here. And we'll get a little bit of a chip onto Angel's armor as well. So, costs him an extra penny. Either way, though, well-navigated round. Boaster, here's that chaotic
It's fighting World War 5 out here.
Literally ring around the rosy. He went around that pillar 2 times.
Alrighty. First gun round now. And this is what I'm saying, like Na'Vi, with more than enough cash to be able to go for a buy into round number 16, and their bonus is 5 rifle. Scary, man.
Yeah. And they've still got cash in the bank.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about.
Alright. What's this attack side default looking like for Na'Vi? Giving up A main, quite happy to give that over to Alpha Jot. It is his favourite position after all. Contact into B. Turret tickled by Angel. Prowler through from Leo. Dealt with by Na'Vi, who are also working over towards this C choke.
It's weird. Stylistically, both these teams have had quite different ways that they default.
Yeah, I think...
You know, I feel like every time we saw Fnatic go to B, it was either fast or through A long, and not really just straight through the B choke.
I think Na'Vi are pretty aggressive, man.
Yeah.
Pretty aggressive pushes, you know, putting the turret deep up into C, literally walking through the B choke despite playing against an Astra with stars down and killing turrets, even taking space and duels over towards A. They push all the defense back and then just contact straight in. That is bravery for CNED, walking on top of 2 Astra stars and taking an opening dual contact.
Oh, Boaster ready for that one. Prowler might have just gone in the way and cost Sugetsu his life. Either way, though, back to the 4v4. Na'Vi, full control of C. And Fnatic regrouping and looking to make this happen. But look at the lurk as well. Angel going to be coming in from B. And if the timing's right, he can potentially win the round from here. Open plant as well. If you're playing on the back of sight, CNED tries to push through. And it's all down to Shao on the back of Sight. So Sight's lost. Fnatic here, looking to win it. Angel in a position to try and stop this defuse from happening. But Fnatic are too strong, and Boaster got that first pick on the cross to Sight, held that C-Link control over towards the fountain, and enabled the perfect retake from Fnatic. So that's going to be 11. 2 more rounds needed in the second half for Fnatic to close out the second map and put them potentially on series point.
Yeah, 3 guns up. Navi's got another buy in the back pocket, but still, it's a great round for Fnatic. Dude, Boaster's really worked on his individual form, eh?
Yeah.
But in the earlier days of previous Fnatic rosters, he was kind of struggling a bit.
Did you hear that?
What did he say?
You gotta turn your in-game up. He goes, "Let's get freaky."
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Oh man, I've never been more aroused. 5-on-4 here for Fnatic already. Pressure on Na'Vi, down 11-4. Again, aggressive defaulting for them. They're trying to tickle the turret. But against the Astras of the world, with SARS down and choke points, that is very brave gameplay, to say the least. Definitely get punished with that kind of a style.
All right, I'm back. That threw me. Well, let's see if AlphaJar can stop this cross to Sight. C's going to connect there, so he could be in trouble. Need to follow. Oh, he's around the corner though, so plays that as well as possible after getting hit by the C's. And Fnatic, CNED not going to be able to slip his way into stairs, so pick are going to be going in favor of Fnatic. Durka holding tree for the moment, but Leo now going to be isolated on Sight. Has Sugetsu with this lockdown to just create a whole bunch of space, try to get that spike planted, but AlphaJar playing his life, pushing forward. And now in the 1v3, it's a rough position for Shao to be in, but if anyone can do it, it's this man. Top of the stats so far here in the lock-in. And has a lot of util to play with, but uses absolutely none of it. Gets peeked by Chronicle and his head taken off his shoulders. That's going to be 12 on the board, and Fnatic looking real good to close here on map 2.
Absolutely. Na'Vi spike planted, so maybe someone like Sugetsu with 2 grand in the bank can maybe try and put a buy together here, but the rest of the boys going to be pretty lackluster. Going to be seeing a couple Bulldogs, some Speckies, maybe a Guardian or 2. It's not going to be pretty, Mac. No Chambers, no Jets, can't be min-maxing the ult economy to supplement the regular economy. It's going to be a timeout, but realistically, I just don't feel like it's going to matter. Don't feel like Na'Vi are in this one, these first couple of maps. But that doesn't mean they're not in it at all. We saw the evidence of that yesterday in the semi-final. Yeah. Real slow start from DRX, but they fought back for 2 after kind of getting manhandled on the first couple of. FF?
No. No. That'll be uncalled for. Although we have seen a competitive FF this week.
Wait, really?
In another esport. Did you not see that on Twitter?
Is this a game that I don't follow?
No. The Timberman.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I was actually watching Big Timber yesterday. You ever seen that show?
Big Timber? Yep. No.
You got to watch it. You would love it.
What's it about?
Big Timber. It's just about a Canadian guy who just, all he does is chop down trees.
Chop wood.
He just chops wood.
Today, guys, we're chopping this redwood. Huh?
Yeah, except he's Canadian. So he's like, oh, that's a big log, eh?
Okay, well, you've really sold that series to me, Mitch.
You're welcome.
Let's see if Fnatic can sell this series. Close it out now. Use their best bargaining tools of weapons. And cheeky showstopper in the hands of Durka. Chance for maybe a Locky to come on the line here from AlphaJar, but Chronicle as well, one away from the pit. And AlphaJar's just standing here. Toxic terrain in the way. No one sneaking forward there. But the Haunt going to be used just to see if anyone's hanging around over towards Ruin side.
Yeah, a couple lackluster weaponries in. Like I said, a few Guardians. and a Bulldog, but realistically quite a winnable round. In comes the Fade ult, pressure onto Alpha. But this toxic screen is keeping him alive so well. Very difficult to contest Cave right now for Na'Vi. They can't get comfortable. Contact into the C site. Chronicle does a lot of damage, but with a man advantage and the smoke's going down for Na'Vi, Fnatic are quite happy to just give him the site.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for Na'Vi right now. Looking like retake will be the call.
That's KO ult for Zippin.
Chance to slow things down for sure if they can rip this null command, but he's gone before ripping it. Big shots coming through from Chronicle. That is an MVP performance to try and close this out. 3 kills already. Xiao has nothing to use here. Nightfall, 20 bloody points away. Just lining it up, hoping the Guardian's going to be enough. Just tapping, trying to stop that defuse from coming through, but he's going to fall. Fnatic push forward, and they push for a 13th. Map 2 in the bag, and 1 more needed to secure a spot in the grand final here of Lock-In.
Yeah, Na'Vi have just gone missing, man, in this grand final. Real tight game in the first one, but Lotus was not the case at all. Only 1 rep on it for Na'Vi in this tournament. Fnatic haven't played it before. I'm sure there's an air of familiarity between these two teams, though. Like, these teams are both right up the top of the EMEA. They're probably pretty regular practice partners, probably quite familiar with each other's play styles. Not only this iteration of the teams, but also just older iterations of the teams as well. Like, honestly, you can talk about the tactics all day long, you can talk about the approaches of both the teams, but for me, this grand final has really just been Fnatic individually on a better level. They're winning all the clutches, they're making more plays, they're playing better overall, they're looking more composed, making less mistakes. And I think that, you know, unless Na'Vi can wake up real quick getting into map number 3, this is going to be a quick semi-final.
Look, you say that, but this is almost what we saw yesterday in that series.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to write anyone off, because when the pressure comes on the shoulders of Na'Vi going into map 3, that's when things can change up. And of course, we're going back to maps that only have those 2 spike sites now. Maybe Fnatic is just much more prominent, much more performance-based when it comes to these 3 site maps. And their attacking sites have been stellar, but the defense has been pretty solid as well. So I can't wait to see what we get from the next map. I think it's Fracture from memory. Fracture, then Split, then Ascent. Yeah, so off the top of the head, it is going to be Fracture, which is going to be very interesting to see how both these teams navigate that one.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Na'Vi play it. They 13-2 Leviathan, which is like being quite a solid team. And one of the strongest South American teams. They're kind of playing closer to home soil. Only 1 rep this tournament as well on Fnatic, but that's an even scarier result. They 13-100 Thieves on Fracture, and that's the map that you have to win if you're Na'Vi in a grand final. Like, literally just 13-1 the team that won the last tournament. Yeah, that's a roughie.
Yeah, that's a dangerous prospect, but we'll see how these 2 EMEA Titans fare going into Fracture. But that's coming up just after the break, ladies and gents. Have a swig of water, get hydrated, get excited, because we could be ending things on map 3.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Put on bot, I can dog you, can kill our bot.
Dude.
They're in.
No, I'm in. I'm not sure he knows about you or not.
Watch out, alarm bot.
I will spam right side, just pick.
Draw.
Toma cuatro. Está en uno. Murió la pipa. Está en uno el Omen. El Omen está en uno, le pegué 100.
¿Le pasamos?
Está en uno. Nice. Cuidado el baiteo.
Cuesta baiteo uno close. No se va a mi flecha, 5 flechas, chicos. Seguimos info, el último.
Falta la fake, chicos.
Todo upper out. A flash inside. Yo volteé. A flashing one more side. I have camera, wait a bit. We have molly as well. Please wait for plant. Okay. Hold with me. Upper. Pick with me, Sean.
Go. Fighting.
You jump.
10 seconds till I...
I'm marking. Take.
Not planting. I have eye.
Eye, throw.
Wait.
Mira pasillo. Default on green box. No!
Insane, bro.
This was very good, bro.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the VCT lock-in Sao Paulo, where we're just watching Xiao being cracked as anything. Unfortunately, he doesn't look like that today. Not so far. He's had a couple of crispy shots, but no rounds like that. No big pop-off performances. And that's probably what Na'Vi are going to need moving into Fracture if they want to take a W here, because they got to work up that reverse sweep.
Yeah, man, that ace was so dirty. He needs to take a shower. So, yep. Anyway, we'll look at the stats for the last game. Another classic 300 ACS game from Durka. Just doing Durka things. This is what he does. He turns his computer on. You know, monitor goes on, mouse gets plugged in, heads get tapped every game without fail.
That production saved you from a very unhappy face by putting this graphic up in time.
Oh yeah.
Look, 323 ACS, pretty damn good. Overall, it's like, even though Leo was only 10 and 6 on the fade, I feel like he still had some pretty pop-off rounds. Chronicle at the end as well, he ended 14 and 8, and 3 of those kills were so ridiculously impactful. Just maintaining that sight control, stopping anything from happening and turning it into that 1v4, 1v3 that we saw right towards the end. But look, moving into the Fracture, whose game do you think this is? Now, talk to me about these agent comps, because you said that both these teams are pretty good on Fracture, but what side did Fnatic start on when they domed whoever it was?
So when Fnatic won, both of these teams started attack,
Thieves, yeah,
and they both got like 11-1 attack halves.
Okay.
In terms of comp, they play a pretty different comp. For Na'Vi, they actually play Omen on this map. It's like Omen, Cypher, KO, Raze, Viper. And then Fnatic, they play a bit more of a traditional comp. They play like Breach, Brimmy, Fade, KJ, and Raze. So stylistically quite a different approach. On one hand, you've got Na'Vi. They like the Cypher Omen approach where they've got a bit more global presence. The troops can kind of clear what's clean and dirty. You've got the ability of the dark cover to kind of go across the map and whatnot. You've got the Viper as well, which is going to give you that second kind of controller presence, and maybe that can double up for like a Sentinel on defense. You've almost got like a double Sentinel, like pseudo double Sentinel, because you've got the Viper wall on one side and you've got trips as well that can kind of play into that. That makes it quite hard for other teams to play attack into you a lot of the time. Whereas for Fnatic, it's going to be more of what you're used to and what kind of makes sense on this map. The Breach plays, you know, the Brimmy, the classics.
Little sneak peek on the monitor there. I think I saw, I can't tell whose side it was, but there was some Raze, there was some Omen.
Yep.
So nothing too crazy coming through.
That's about right.
And I can't see anymore. So look, we're
just
we're
can't
chilling.
see in general, mate.
I'm very blind. Yes, let it be known. I'm a blind boy. Look, 13-4, pretty dominant scoreline. Fnatic gonna be pretty happy with this one. Even if, look, they lose Fracture, they still have those two maps to lean back on. Kind of similar to what we saw in the series yesterday, where inevitably it works out. LLL.
Lowland Lions. Old school org.
What?
Lowland Lions. Triple L used to be a tag.
Okay.
You're too new for that, Mac. You know, you're not as old as me. End of the day.
Yeah, sure.
In esports years.
Well, Mini just standing up to let the other coach know that
asserting dominance.
Yeah, asserting dominance just before the game.
Staring him down. Love it.
Just those mind games, you know. They're great to see. Crowd, of course, having a great time. All these L's in the crowd, but Loud, they're not here today, guys. Look, come on. They're not here. So give us a couple of W's.
L stands for lost, to be honest, for some of these crowd members, because
L for lock in.
L for lock in.
Yeah, surely. Here we go. Wait, so Omen. Oh, Cypher.
Okay, settle down, Max. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. You're getting.
Hey, I want
real
the leaks.
excited.
I want the leaks. You know. I want to see what the agent comps are. You know, it matters.
It does. I don't think either one of them are going to change, bro. Both of them won like 13-1, 13-2.
Fair enough.
I think
It's just crazy to think about, like, how these operate. Like, we have the Omen, of course, going to be hovered here from Na'Vi. But I just really love that Brimmy. Like, those lineups yesterday, literally winning the game for a couple of those teams. I think it was DRX.
Yeah, 100%.
Doing work. So, what do we got here? Talk me through the agent comps. Tell me if anything's different or if it's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
I don't think either one of them are going to change. I don't think they have a reason to. Like I said, in either one of their respective groups, both of these teams absolutely stomped pretty good teams.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like you have the incentive to really change it up, you know? Especially in a semi-final like this, against a solid opponent, stick it to your guns. Both of these teams, you know, this is where I feel like people do kind of obsess and talk about, man, like, what if you just switched up your agent comp and you're trying to caught the other team off guard? And it's just like, when you get to like top 4 in the world, you get to this level of play, it's like, no, we're really just this good that like, we're just going to play what works for us. We're going to stick to the fundamentals, and especially the European teams, the European style in every tactical FPS traditionally is like, no man, we don't need gimmicks. We are just that good. And if we're gonna play good on the day, we're gonna outplay you. We're gonna use what works for our team. We don't need to change anything up at the last minute. We're just gonna beat you because we're better.
Okay. Well, different theoretical approaches, but maybe that's just Europe in a nutshell. Either way, it's time to jump on into Fracky. And it looks like Chronicle, he's opted to hold that fault line with nothing coming back towards that tree side for Na'Vi. They're just playing a high-low setup over towards Canteen here, with Cam taking contact over towards main. So you can see them have to slightly shift this one. Dark cover goes down, and Eyes still fully focused over towards that arcade side. And while this is all happening, you've also got Sugetsu getting a nice tight line over towards a main, prowling out, moving his direction.
Please, for the love of God, someone enter the text. Fnatic.
What?
There was like a fan cam and someone forgot to set on their phone what text they wanted, and it just said enter text over and over again. Anyway, maybe you'll see it on the replays. Fnatic After pressuring over towards stairs side, taking the orb, they're going to contact over into A main, straight out sand. Counter nade and a snake bite, really disrupting this push here.
Oh, Alpha Jar waiting to make their way through the toxic screen, which is slowing things down and buying so much time for this rotation. It's going to be 5v5 and the spike ain't even down yet. Sight control not there. Sugetsu waiting to take contact up towards the top and finally activating. Headshot onto Alpha Jar. That's going to be a big couple of kills coming through. Zipping as well. Connecting perfectly, and Durka down to 34 points of health. We'll just go back, get that ult orb, and look to maybe get a kill before the end of the round, but he doesn't want to be living here. Na'Vi just waiting for him to make the move. And, oh, there it is. Angel ready for the swing on the Cypher. And that's going to be the pistol in the bag for Na'Vi. A much better start than both previous maps.
Yeah, good pistol for him. They looked pretty cool, calm and collected and comfortable with what was happening in that round. Fnatic, you know, pressuring stairs. There wasn't really too much panic. There was just a dark cover. Straight on stairs in response. They're trusting that setup. When you get the reroute back towards A main, the Viper wall really slowing down that push. The counter util was excellent for Na'Vi. You could see Fnatic wanted to scale out sand. Can't do it. Paint shells, snake bite, toxic screen. Really breaking up the momentum and really slowing Fnatic down, making sure they can't scale out the way that they want to.
I need to point out as well, usually when you've got that KJ being mirrored on both sides, you know, this orbital strike is going to be held for the lockdown, right? But now we got this situation where it's Angel on the Cypher instead, and no real util that you can break with that orbital. So the orbital's just going to be used to zone and maybe just lock down those post plants. We saw yesterday those teams holding on for the orbitals for dear life, for whole halves, and then not even really get used. So Boaster should be able to... Yeah, this is just around the world.
No, this is old patch, I guess. No, because it's 7 for a lockdown. So actually the orb farming on the KJ are a fair bit more effective here. You know, in the new patch it's 8 orbs for a lockdown, but Alpha is running around the world able to pick up every orb, and he, as long as he dies in this round, he's got lockdown in towards round number 3.
30 seconds left.
Very nice orb control. And realistically, it doesn't really cost you that much for Fnatic. You know, things like Sky Smokes on an Eco and, you know, the fault lines and these kind of pieces of utility, they are free. You may as well use them.
Real cheap. And look, time's ticking away. Angel just trying to stop this spike from being planted. Time's ticking. Leo's connecting. And maybe a chance now. But Chronicle, he's making noise. Last alive will fall.
Again, 3 up, and they maintain all the rifles and only lose the players who are playing bonus with the pistols.
Yeah.
I'm vibing it, man. Loving the anti-eco approach from Na'Vi. I mean, I was already a fan before, but you just really don't see other teams kind of do that. All right, what are Fnatic going to do? They've got the lockdown on a really early timing in round number 3 here, Mac, and Na'Vi are going to be aware of it.
Lockie in the back pocket. Always good to have there. But do they just tear it? Is that the thing? And is Na'Vi going to counter by looking for some kind of aggressive control? They are going to try to put Angel on the line towards Tree, but look at this respect being shown. Straight in towards CT they go. And it looks like it might just be the retake of fair. Aggression coming through a main. One-way smoke on the corner, which I thought was nerfed, but it looks like they've managed to find an angle.
Man. I think this is old patch.
Like old patch?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Okay.
I don't think you can do that one-way effectively anymore. Like, Omen would not be good on this map in current meta.
But no, that was the same patch where Chamber got nerfed. Like, so this would mean Chamber was strong here.
There's a round happening, Mac.
There really is. But like, it's what we expect, right? Fnatic took B. A main control kind of came through for Angel. Off the one way, which we were discussing. But, I mean, great setup over towards Tree.
Just so
Angel.
Just so clean, mate. Just so clean. Didn't even look hard for him at all.
Xiao starting to feel sharp. Sugetsu as well. 21 points of health and still looking to fight. Boaster ready to swing off that flash. Good coordination to get another, and the lineup will secure the round. You love to see it. That's going to be 2-1. Fnatic coming through with the first gun round, but taking a couple of chunks of damage, not only in terms of the economy, but also in losing a couple of numbers. So,
I mean,
we'll see what they can do going into round 4.
Look pretty clean and easy for them as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Leo.
I'm gonna figure out what patch this is on, just so we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do that. FPX coach shaking his head. Oh, Na'Vi coach, bloody hell. I keep doing that. These it's been interesting to see Na'Vi continuing to change up their walls. Saw a pretty interesting wall in that last round across Arcade and Tower. This time it's the diagonal wall in combination with the cam. You saw this more so in the Astra meta a lot more, where you could have that wall up with a camera and a star. You could have little raise nade combos and all kinds of stuff. Fnatic really stick it to this bottom side of the map. In comes the fade ult. It's going to hit 3 here, Mac.
Ooh, big fade ult, but they're still going to be able to shoot, and that's a factor. Decay not going to enable any easy picks coming through for Fnatic here. And down to the 3v5 we go. C's not going to be locking anyone over towards default now. And Na'Vi investing numbers, but straight through the smoke. Chronicle with a cracker straight onto the head of Angel. And Sugetsu as well, going in off the flash. That's going to be another pick found. Nade paint shells to zone them back into A main, and it's all down to Chronicle, who's the only one to find a pick this round. But a 1v4 with 30 on the clock, it's looking unachievable. And he's just going to slow things down so they can have a quick chat as well.
Yeah, if he saves here with 3 grand in the bank, this is definitely going to be a buy for Fnatic in round number 5. Good recovery from Na'Vi though. This has been back and forth in this opening start of Fracture. Tit for tat a little bit. 4 up for Na'Vi is going to stabilize their economy. This is where we're starting to get closer to the ults.
I got the answer for you. So this is where, so those smokes shouldn't work, but they must have found a spot where it sits.
No, there is one. It's just nowhere near as good as it used to be.
Right.
But I guess they still rate it.
Yeah, okay.
Old mate Sean Gares made a video about that.
Yeah, watch that one.
Yeah, I love some Sean Gares content. I get pretty distracted though, he's trying to talk about like what util's good, and I'm just staring into his eyes.
Yeah. He needs to get rid of that bloody...
Yeah, to get rid of the bloody... Yeah, the
How
camera.
are we supposed to pay attention? Ooh, I love that counter util coming through. The haunt over towards arcade side, so that toxic screen rendered slightly useless. Good to see that Fnatic has an answer.
Yeah, Fnatic changing things up. They've often been sticking to the south side of the map. Taking a main control, swinging over towards stairs, taking an AWP here and there. That time a little pressure over towards arcade. Then taking the old zippy across to A main. You're going to see already Na'Vi are ready with the counter utility as the Prowler comes in. This is going to be an explode through door off the Paranoia.
Ooh, Boaster. Ready for that one.
Yeah, Fnatic just baiting out all the util. The issue though is they do get zoned, and then the one-way goes up straight away once again from Shout, making Fnatic's life very difficult. But now the defense starting to run out of util here, Mac. And in goes Durka.
Oh, who's just popped straight into the crosshair of CNED. And now it's going to be the attempt to come through main, but CNED again reading the swing off that short side. And Boaster's gone. So smoke's out of the equation now, and time it's ticking. Fnatic aren't hitting. And Angel, he's going to finally fall. So Alphaja, just as I say, it's not working for them. It looked pretty good. CNED as well, all the way aggressed into a main. And they haven't been able to find him just yet, but that time's ticked down and the spikes hit the ground. It's looking real good for another Na'Vi round, and there you have it, Shout. He's just looking for Alpha. Do they know that he was over towards Sand? They're not going to find him, but the round is in the bag. Alphaja is utilizing the dark cover to get himself another 2 kills. 4 kills in the round for him, but it felt like they were a mile away from putting that one in the bag.
I mean, just with those exits, so he got another lockdown.
Yeah, 100%.
On a very early timing. Yeah, I feel like Durka's felt like he had the source there, he had the timing. And the rest of the boys were quite quite deep in A main.
Yeah, he dropped the bottle of sauce. Tomato sauce on the white shirt. Oof.
That's the equivalent of like he was trying to chuck some tomato sauce like on top of the dish, and it's not even ready yet. Like it's just in the bottom of the bowl, and then
my camera is destroyed.
A little cam.
They spot one. Wait, they're going to try to fight this. It's going to be a 2v5 towards Arcade side. Angel in trouble. Cyber Cage going to be enough to escape around the corner. But there was some false info coming through. The knife didn't scan anyone. The camera didn't see anyone. And now we're into an odd position. Sugetsu in the smoke is going to be able to find one. Angel, a headshot on the Boaster. And just when it looked like Fnatic might have found a whole bunch of control, it's all hit the floor. The sauce bottle's been spilled again. But Leo in a 1v4. Man Sharp Man is crisp today. And he's got time on his side.
Just don't get lost in the sauce, Mac. That's the main thing that the kids say these days. Again, Angel with the alpha male angle. Give this man any opportunity to stand on top of an object and take an aim duel, and he'll do it.
Yeah.
He's sending a message. Fnatic timeout. This is not the start that they had on the last couple of maps, mate.
Yeah.
Na'Vi is switching on.
That was like the simple rule from years ago, right? Anything that you can jump on to slightly change the line that someone's gonna pre-aim, you always jump on it. You always sit on the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, that might have even been something that he'd learned from Angel. You never know. That I think Hellraisers being one of Simple's first proper teams that he played for back in the day.
Crazy to think about, hey. Well, here we are. Angel at the ripe age of 33 years old, still hitting
spring chicken,
still schooling the kids. And at the moment, Na'Vi looking pretty damn good at the moment. And you were saying both these teams were so good on the attack, but right now Fnatic are lacking 1 and 5. Na'Vi looking like a refreshed squad going into map 3.
Well, interestingly enough, this is where you start to get into the dynamics of the comps and things like that. When they played Fracture against 100 Thieves, honestly, they played a pretty similar comp. You know, I was wondering, looking at 100 Thieves, are they just not used to this style? I think the main thing that makes Na'Vi's comp different from what 100 Thieves were playing is the fact that they play a Viper instead of, what is it? Fade, I think. Something like that. No, Viper instead of Breach. Which definitely adds a little bit of spice. Oh, the bot flash is glorious. Good movement from Durka to get out of dodge though. You can see Fnatic very well aware that these pot flash plays are exactly what Na'Vi wants to be employing to counter this A main control. And Fnatic, credit to them, they're not getting caught by the utility from Na'Vi, but they are still not able to take the map control. They are still getting denied. Oh.
Okay, Sugetsu diff, and that's going to be dish fully cleared out. Two-man trade is good. Traded that Angel's life there, and instantly Fnatic are going to call the rotation after knowing that Sugetsu's gone towards that A side of the map. So even though the Toxic was here...
intentional from Boaster. He intentionally missed through the canteen smoke to take a duel in the man disadvantage situation. There's the showstopper, and Leo's using it as well.
Okay. Bad util. Ain't too bad.
Oh,
so it seems.
Chronicle took that all. The plant gives him the rolling thunder. CNED's super low, so is Leo. But this round from a 3-on-5 is so winnable for Fnatic.
So Leo tucked away, one and done position, and hoping that Chronicle can lend a helping hand from in heaven. There's that one flashpoint, that fault line, and that one bullet is enough to take CNED down as well. Shout just trying to figure out exactly where they're playing from, thinking Leo is maybe playing off a haunt, especially with the spike flannel on this front side of sight, and there's no world where he's going to clear the default position there. That corner, that pocket, Leo tucked away and takes a second for Fnatic.
That was so heads up from Boaster. Unreal. Intentionally misthrowing the canteen smoke to take a duel in a man disadvantage situation.
Yeah. And Zipan obviously expecting the aggression, but just dropping the ball. Although, that being said, you can see right at the end that Rolling Thunder did end up getting invested, so...
I mean, that's how you can tell Fnatic are under the pump, man.
Yeah.
What was an earlier couple of easier games, first couple of maps, Lotus in particular, is it's not the same vibe right now. Either way, they got some great ults to work with. Lockdown, Orbital, Showstopper. It's the who's who of Impact. On the attacking side here, they're going to take Underpass. Get ready to chuck the locking in as the alarm bot gets established. Shout on the Omen operator. Looking for a pick here. Starting to clear the trips with the Prowlers in preparation to get up into the site here.
Yeah, they got to run. Angel could have been in harm's way, but it is going to be this open plant, and you can see Fnatic, they're not too worried about taking too much control of site. Just popping Durka into heaven, and then everyone else playing post plants. Of course, you got the lineups there coming through from Boaster and full attacker spawn control. You've even got this rotation coming through from AlphaJo, who might have lineups from a different position. Durka suppressed, but down on 1 HP. He's living somehow. And look at this Na'Vi, they are chasing him. They want to tap that spike sooner rather than later. Orbital still online as well. It should be an unlosable round from here with what Fnatic have. But there is going to be that half tick coming through before the Orbital. And now we've got this Molly going to be hitting it in a moment. There you go. Everything used, and Fnatic tearing through it. Oh, timing ain't there. It looked bloody close though. Everybody dies, but Fnatic take the round.
Yeah, which is way worse for Na'Vi. Their money was much more fragile than what Fnatic had heading into that round, and Fnatic pick it up. They're back on into it, bro. Started with a 3-on-5 reroute back to B from a man disadvantage situation. Some heads-up play there. They get a couple gun rounds together, and all of a sudden they flip this half on its head.
Yeah.
This was looking pretty dominant for Na'Vi, and now Fnatic's applying the pressure. And yeah, the viewing party's popping off. All the boys are getting hyped. I love Fnatic.
Every round is that little bit closer to a W. Oh, Nightfall. Gonna deny any sound to a lot of these B-site, A-site members, but Shout able to TP back to safety of CT. And any 4v4, things are getting a little bit awkward now for Fnatic. Big flank already starting to come through from Angel. But is he going to expect AlphaJo in the corner here? For now, oh, that's going to be the turret revealing his position. So, thought he was able to play it sneaky. But Fnatic, after cutting sound, are just going to go slow towards A main.
And just going to chuck a trip. Doesn't want them to reroute in the mid to late round.
Yeah.
Not something Fnatic are too concerned about anyway. That goes down default. Na'Vi objective in this round is really just to take guns. The money's still not great for Fnatic.
Boaster in the position to succeed here. Fault line going to be slowing things down towards heaven, but do they hard clear the corner? Knows the answer. Boaster here with AlphaJo, who's able to swing through the door off the contact, and Fnatic keep it clean in the post plant. 4 alive, starting to stabilize that economy and get back into the game. 5-4 now, looking to tie things up in round 10.
Getsu been sitting on this pit for a while. I'm wondering when that's going to be coming out. Change up the setup a little perhaps. But really, really big couple of rounds for Fnatic. Cannot be understated. They've absolutely turned this game around. Multiple gun rounds back to back. They survive with 4 players up. Heading into the last couple of rounds of the half, they have now built themselves a strong enough economy to keep contesting. Na'Vi kind of living a bit more paycheck to paycheck. Siketsu throwing up all his util. Use 1 snakebite on Arcade. He's got absolutely nothing left. Fnatic 3-2 split. Working dish control. Angel with the cam or dish for info on the off angle up the top there. Trying to keep an eye on if Fnatic's over there. Durka should check for this for sure. Should pop it. No, he doesn't actually check it.
Sneaky.
That is actually not an uncommon cam position.
But they know now. They've heard it after he's gotten off of the cam. However, the Cyber Cage in the way is going to be difficult for them to get past. Oh, you'd think so. Angel not ready for that position. That angle from Boaster was nasty to deal with, and that's going to be full site control for now. They still need to get this one planted. 40 seconds, and it's going to be planted for a main, which means post plants are looking good, except Boaster. He's over towards drop side. Unless he's got something cooking off a wall, this could be difficult to play from for him. Dart cover in the way. CNED looking to make his way forward. Chronicle, good flashpoint. Boaster is going to jump out and be the distraction that Chronicle needed to peek out, get the trade. Flash forward. Leo now going to be tough between a rock and a hard place, but still able to fight for one. Shao, too damn sharp, and they're going to keep on going forward here, but they know that Alphager's coming through on that flank. The offline from Chronicle looks so damn good, and so does Durka's aim. There you go, 5-5. Fnatic managed to wrangle themselves back into the game. It was a slow start, but it's anyone's half now.
I think it's Fnatic's half now, bro. Jesus. Massive turnaround. They break the money of Na'Vi yet again. They could even go 7-5 in this half from like a, what was that, a 5-1? I just like, in a 4-on-5 position like that, when Na'Vi just don't have much util to be able to complete the retake, it's like, how are they ever winning that round, dude? Against Breach, Raze, like, all of this util.
Yeah.
I feel like Fnatic just have this comp that's quite hard to deal with, you know, Fade Breach, the KJ's there, the Brimmy. You're like trying to run through a brick wall in a man disadvantage retake with a Viper that has no util. The KO's got a little bit of util to create some space. You don't have the paranoia rolling for yourself. Your money's kind of skew if. It's like you really just don't have the pushing power to get back in there.
It's really hard to concentrate on the game when the beats are just so fat, Mitch.
Especially when you're tired. It's like, it just hits a part of your brain where it's just like, you just start, oh, okay.
It just hits a part of my brain where it's like, I've definitely been awake at 6:33, you know, dancing on a dance floor somewhere in the world, but not while watching esports, you know, and it's just instinctual. I love that lineup of the wall, though. Throw that in your book if you're a Viper player on Fracture.
The issue,
Although,
the
I'm
issue
sure
for
if you
me
lock
is...
a Viper on Fracture in a ranked game, people are probably going to yell at you. Yeah. Just say, what are you doing?
Yeah, probably.
What are you doing, mate?
We've seen this a couple times, these trap plays.
We certainly have. No orbital off the back of it, no pick, but that is going to be sand control, fought for by Zippin, who's happy with the numbers, so it will fall back into CT spawn, look to try and cheat towards B. As Fnatic send it back in this direction.
Okay.
Pit going to be pulled.
Man advantage there. So he's saying, we're winning this one, boys. Stinger in the pit, though, is pretty annoying to deal with. Chronicle's like, yeah, sick pit, bro. I'm a plan here.
Yeah.
Don't care. Didn't ask plus ratio. They're going to fight CT.
Oh, yeah, fighting for CT. Okay, committing the rolling thunder on the anti-eco. Oh, they are forcing them forward. They want these fights. They back themselves here. And Fnatic, they know there's only one round left in the half after this, so may as well use it. Boaster falling, but Shao goes down as well, and that is 6 on the board. 6 in a row for Fnatic to take the lead now, and looking to make it 7 to close out the half.
It's 5 in a row. And
is it?
Yeah. And yeah, like you said with the music.
My brain.
I feel like I start like bobbing my head initially to enjoy the music, and then slowly just start nodding off.
Well, look,
that was a nice little combo, but like against the half buy, I guess that half buy was getting dicey, so they felt like they were pressured to send it on in. Anyway, last gun round here. Durka's got the op out. Oh, so does Shao. Shao's got the bloody analog operator from 1950s out.
Yep. But he's also got a bloody one-way smoke that helps him a whole lot on a line like that. Sugetsu going to be spotting that B main presence rather over towards tree side, and Boaster going for a bit of an exploration in through tunnels. Looking like we are going to see Fnatic try to commit in through arcade side with the spike coming in late. We'll see where Chronicle drops his fault line here. A couple of flashes as well to get this heaven control. Sugetsu might not know what's coming for him here. Smoke's going to be ripped from above. And there's that fault line, but the flash is going a completely different direction of what I expected here. And Sugetsu's still allowed to stand, but for how long? Alphajar finds a line, wallbang headshot, and Angel pushes through the smoke, but not expecting Chronicle still holding this position. An awkward affair, a series of events which no one really expected here. And Na'Vi are going to tie things up 6-6 at the half. Oh, they want this one. They don't want to be going down 3-0 and losing their shot at the title.
Tight back and forth game, but feels like the momentum's back with Fnatic, no? Like that. It felt like Na'Vi, it was going well for him. But in a best of 5, man, like, you're up 2-0. For Fnatic, I mean, you're feeling good about that half. You feel like you made a good resurgence. But for Na'Vi, like, the mental task of being down 0-2 here and having a 6-6 half and feeling like, oh, God, what, winning this series to make it to the grand final, we got to fight our way through 5 halves in a row. I mean, you do kind of break it down into more manageable pieces, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot to push yourself through.
Ooh. Looks like Valorant leaks have just somehow leaked the new agent, which isn't announced until tomorrow.
Oh, really? I won't be looking at that. I'm a good boy, but
You're
sorry.
not looking at it?
Yeah,
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, definitely not. That's not on. Yeah. Anyway,
That's not on.
It's just not on. You know, that's just.
But it is on. It's on my. It's on my timeline.
This Mac, honestly.
I didn't want to see it. Hey, I won't tell you about it, but you guys can go look if you want.
That's on WikiLeaks, no?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sick. Shout out Julian Assange. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Halftime pauses, huh?
Me too, guys. Hey, ooh. I feel like I need to be assaulted with one of those. Just get me through.
I've just seen people like talking on the timeline who aren't in Twitch chat, by the way, which is extremely disappointing. All you Aussie Valoranters. And you can tell that they haven't slept yet, and it's 6:30.
Who's casting this one on the mainstream?
On the mainstream? I couldn't tell you. Probably Brennan Sideshow?
Yeah.
Hang on.
I mean,
nope, there's an American.
Okay.
Is it Baller and Doug? Maybe?
Balling out of control. We got a baller on this stream as well. His name's Mac, mate. And he's getting excited for the pistol round. 6 apiece.
I certainly am.
Prowler through with the Sky Smoke to take, not even tree control. It's a wee bit of pressure. And look, Na'Vi quite happy to give the tree control up. Chuck a trippy over there. Straight through sand. I feel like I've seen this one before. It's a bit of a role reversal. Yeah, look, couple of little bits of util for the backside plant there.
Mitch, this is our strategy.
We have strategies.
We have strategies.
Wait, you guys
Remember
are
the
getting
ones
paid?
we force on people in ranked games? Like, this is what you do. And then they all run A main rather than running sand, and then everyone cries. I cry. I'm sure Boaster's crying too. Didn't get a chance to see anyone this round, just lost his head straight through the dark cover. And Na'Vi, come out there, coming in with a vengeance. HL's going to be pretty damn good there, cracking open the door and cracking open skulls as well. Fnatic answer with 3 out of nowhere. CNED only able to find 1 on that cross to sight. Xiao has to pop off here, but jumping across is going to be his crux, and Leo just dodges all those bullets. The absolute nuisance. And Fnatic get another, take that lead 7-6.
Just be help straight across there, mate. You can see the look on his face.
That was the slowest B-hop I've ever seen.
Ah, come on, mate.
What?
He's doing his best. Look at that bouncer from the bloody Rays, mate. I haven't seen anything like that since I was playing cricket.
Bit of spin on it.
No, not even spin. He just like pegged it straight in the middle of the bloody pitch and went straight at his head.
Yeah, that's a bounce up. That's a Jordan Elfish guy maze strategy, that one.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
He seems like the kind of guy that would do those kind of dirty tactics.
Well, Boaster, he is on the opposite side of the map to where he's dropping that sky smoke on the A main choke. But as that's all happening, you can see Zippin as well starting to get himself a little bit of presence over towards A main.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad we're watching Boaster today because I needed to get reminded that I need to buy a toaster. My toaster broke a while ago and I bought some bagels. And I wanted to make one today, but then I realized, oh, I'd have to like warm it up in like the oven or something.
That's pretty normal, Mitch.
It's a pain in the ass, mate.
Is it?
Yeah, I just want to chuck it in the toaster and get it over with.
Anyway, I'll teach you how ovens work after this, but at the same time,
thanks, man.
Sugetsu, Mans is able to find the line and find full control of the A site now.
I mean, they're kind of turning up the heat themselves, bro. How'd they get on A? Free real estate. I guess Fnatic are just playing it by the numbers.
Angel looking to grill up Fnatic, put him on the spit here, but at the moment, paint shells going over towards the choke, and Angel not going to be able to do a damn thing. Durka, he's seen this before, and he's happy to blast pack his way forward. Nothing remaining for Na'Vi. Fnatic stonks are rising with a flawless coming through in the second round of the half.
Clean anti-eco. 4 sets of light armor retained. The only thing they lost was Alpha Jazama. That's it.
Who's Alpha? Jazama?
Jerry Seinfeld. That's what the name is short for, obviously. It's Alpha Jerry Seinfeld. These are the kind of things that you just say at 6:45 in the morning, and yeah, we're getting to that point.
We got to be normal.
Thank God we're only doing 2 days, because you know what happens to us when it gets to like, you know, day 5 or 6 or
the final day.
Yeah. Oh my God, Durka's got the moves, dude. Jesus, the flash to follow up as well.
Yep. This is it. Some solid breach gameplay. Similar to what we saw from them earlier on Haven. You can see the Chronicle is after those assists yet again.
Oh, the
Prowler
even clears that arcade. Na'Vi trying to pick up the pace to complete this 3-on-5, but look at this. Fnatic trying to disrupt, making sure they can't scale up arcade, and Boaster playing around the site.
Molly slows down the push from arcade side, but there is going to be that tower control there. Angel, I think he's dropped that cam to try and get some kind of info. Pulls it back though, and looks like we are going to see Fnatic just maintain their position.
Yeah, the double wrap through unders is going to start putting pressure on Fnatic.
Yeah. Let's Spike. Rotating back to Tree. And of course, this toxic screen's still here. Full prio on AlphaJo to hold down the opposite side of the map. Angel goes with that horn. It looks like with the flash as well, they should be able to make their way out. Boaster can't see a damn thing. Tucked away, still down on site. He will find one before falling. And keep the numbers strong for Fnatic. We are going to see 0 points, suppressing 2, which means no flashes for the moment. Chronicle just going to try to fight fire with fire. And with gun in hand, he looks good for 1. Leo able to trade through Sugetsu, keeps it dangerous. Man was looking scary that round, but Fnatic yet to drop around in the second half.
Yeah, got expensive for him, but even with the spike plan, I don't think Na'Vi can invest in the next. They're probably going to have to take a half bite, try to do some more damage. Really nice set play. Double blast pack with the fault line, flash to follow up. Just really good protocols. Chronicle knows exactly what he needs to do there. Damn, Boaster's jacked, man. Insane. Some people just get the pump just by, you know, playing, you know, swinging the mouse around.
Yeah, some people just have the genetics for a perma shred. I wish it was me.
Anything,
but look, we have to train hard for a shred, Mitch.
What's that?
We have to train hard for a shred.
I just don't even bother. I'm just going to be fat, thanks.
Nate, you're perma-bulking.
Yeah, so selfish guy. Have you seen him?
I'd love to see Jordan hit a bulk.
Hey, he's been doing it. He's been doing it the whole time you've known him.
I know. Man eats so much pasta, and I don't understand how the calories just leave him so easily. Either way, 9-6. And Na'Vi going to have a quick chat because they know that D-Day, it might be right now, and it might be them going home.
They've looked out of it all series. I just don't believe. I don't believe, Mac.
Yeah, it feels a little shaky today. Something's in the water over in Brazil.
I think, I don't know, I saw some of them coughing. Like Xiao in particular has been like just kind of average in this series. I think the main person that I've looked at on Na'Vi, and I've been like, that guy's playing pretty similarly, is like Sugetsu. I feel like the rest of them, it's kind of just been like, we're playing okay today.
Yeah, CNED rather having like some impact rounds, but yeah, definitely in comparison to
I think
what we saw from their last couple of series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Look, you got to show up if you want to be the champions. If you want to take the W here.
The player, yeah, player. We've got a player issue. He just stopped working. Like, Angel's just stopped. He just can't compute.
Oh, right. I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought it was something on one of the bloody little scrolly screens. But it is the graphic. Yeah.
They just call it tech pause, and like, you know, Xiao's just gone to the admin. He's like, he's just stopped working. Do you reckon you could get him going again?
Angel's gone missing. Can we please
give him a shake?
Have something different?
Can you try turning him on?
Considering it's a tech pause, not much is happening.
Yeah, it's crazy that, Mac. Insane.
You know what I mean, though, right? Like, there's no one doing anything on the stage.
Yeah.
Usually, if
they're
there's
not
a tech
allowed
pause,
to. They're not allowed to, though.
No, but like the admins.
Oh, the admins, right?
You know, like
yeah,
doing something to fix something. You know?
Yeah. All I'm saying is I've got my digital vibrance on 100, so this like red color scheme is like, oh, not doing wonders for my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing no one ever thinks about. They just look through their camera and goes, yeah, it looks good. My screen, I'm just like, the pain.
Girls get the girls.
That's what I've been told.
And their Dirk is just bold and sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, to be young, bold and sharp. Yeah, okay, guys, we know. We love loud.
Nyang mi da. I don't know if that's how you say it.
I'm not even. I was gonna say. I can't say that. We'll talk about it later.
What?
Yeah, another buy actually here. I thought Na'Vi would be reset, but they are not. The Spike Plant has given them enough to at least go Vandal light armor. Fnatic contesting A main here. In goes Durka with the showstopper. There's no way. Full running Sugetsu. Just one taps him. He didn't deserve for wrecked.
Giga Chad gameplay.
Poor Durka.
Well, that's one way to get yourselves back into the game. Fnatic slowing things down after not being able to maintain that A main control. Na'Vi, risky business here.
He didn't get it.
No.
A lot of trust in the Sentis. Alpha's often left on an island. Like Fnatic, they're just like, yep. If they go B, they're running into a judge. Rest of the boys just stuck over on that A side of the map.
30 seconds left.
Well, Chronicle looking to make his way forward into Sand. Boaster going in with him, and that's going to work wonderfully. Great flash point forward, but Na'Vi going to answer with a little bit more. Xiao onto Chronicle, Boaster falling, and that time it's ticking, but there's just enough to plant, and look how far away AlphaJet is. So 1v3 angle is definitely achievable, but as you mentioned, with the judge, it's a little bit dangerous. Looking to make his way over towards Sand, get himself that upgrade. And he's made a bit of noise in the process, so we'll see how this one goes. Paint Shell's going to do excruciating damage to him. Chips into 80, gets rid of his armor, and two-man swing, doesn't even matter. AlphaJet, the transfer looks damn good, takes the wide line. Xiao going for the paranoia, jump peeking, living. But AlphaJet not going for the half tick just yet, needs to try to make it work one way on the line. Xiao knows that he's off it, and AlphaJet has been outplayed. Xiao didn't need a shoot to outplay him here, but what a round. AlphaJet so close to clutching, but just barely dropped the ball.
That's fine though, even just taking those 2 guns away is crippling for Na'Vi. Fnatic can now reinvest and break the money. Oh, I'm so sorry. Just didn't deserve it.
Full running. Full running.
Not even with the Phantom, like with the Vandal as well. Man's been done dirty. That's gross, man. Those kind of like raw adjustment kills. Oh. It's just RNG, Mac. It's just RNG, isn't it?
Yeah, just RNG. That's what my teammates tell me. Settle down. Life round.
Oh, this is a swing round, bro. Round 17. Get aim main control here for Fnatic.
Oh, yeah. And they've got it. Oh. They're going to see the Rolling Thunder go all the way. Full committed. And it's looking real damn good straight through the side of the cage. The aftershock as well is going to follow through.
The set play was so filthy, Mac. Oh my god. Angel goes down as well. Xiao's wondering where his bloody team just went.
Mate, I'm telling you, Fnatic have done their homework coming into this series because it's got them 2 maps and it might get them a 3rd. That was ridiculous.
That set play in that swing round, like that was arguably the most important round of the game.
Yeah.
Finished.
Oh my god. Unreal.
And everyone winning those individual fights. Like AlphaJet could have fell just going through that smoke towards that B main choke, but he didn't. And everyone else, of course, like no one in attacker spawn could do anything about their kills.
Dude,
who was it? I think it was Sugetsu tucked in the corner, couldn't get onto the zip line in time, and the aftershock got him. And we're going to see a similar thing, but this time on the opposing side, Durka ain't done. Wants some revenge for before.
Yeah, they take tree, which is going to actually push them into the KJ setup. You see this kind of thing quite often. Oh, the knife though. At least the Sky Smoke and the Molly from Boaster is going to keep them at arm's length. Wrap through Sand.
There is every ult online for Na'Vi, so we'll see if they can get a pick and maybe get something cranking. But the difference is, I feel like a lot of the ults in Na'Vi's side of things are less impactful than what you'd see from Fnatic, but with picks like this, they're probably going to be tearing him. CNED pulls that showstopper, tries to zone them. And things are looking a little bit awkward. As we're going to see Fnatic start to make their way in to a main. All 3 from this position is going to make things difficult. They're just trying to stay outside of that radius. And they might even just call the save, knowing that they're 2 men down, knowing that Na'Vi are fully set up, showing a whole lot of respect to them.
This is exactly what Na'Vi needed.
Yeah.
Like, they actually needed a round like this super badly. Pick up a couple of rifles, but yeah, that was a really grim looking situation for them. If they didn't win this eco, like Fnatic is up 11-7. If they have a clean anti-eco, they're going to have a strong economy behind them. And from that position, that's probably just done and dusted. You know, you'd have to win so many gun rounds back to back. So for Na'Vi to win a thrifty round here, pick up a couple of rifles, it might actually give them the juice they need to fight for this game of Fracture. One more rifle taken away from Fnatic at the last possible second. Some damn sharp shooting on the Sheriffs, and a heads up play for Angel to come for the lurk on through Jenny. Over on the other side of the map. 10-8, Fnatic rolling in with the lockdown and the orbital. Some great retake tools for them. Zippin's got the KO ult ready to go here. Love that this all blind up. Bounces off the little roof and goes for a progression smoke in A main.
Sneaky, sneaky. And Durka respecting it.
Yes, I mean, it's just, I think as we've seen Valorant develop over the years, more and more the Viper's role has become information denial more than anything else. Contesting map control passively by just cycling gas.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. It's one of the things that's unique to this game. Fnatic, they contact Dish, clear out this side of the map. Angel's got the cam up on the top side though, so can keep tabs of the movements in that area. Looks like Na'Vi sizing up a bit of an A execute. Nice movement from Boaster, but look at this contact out Sand. Out comes the KO ult.
Just clearing out everyone. That Sky Smoke going down on the A main choke just in time, but no one playing it from sight. Durka, sharp shot.
That's a
with that gap left.
Drop.
Yeah, it has to be misthrown. Awkward position. And Na'Vi might get punished for it. That's going to be another kill going in favor of Fnatic. Alphaja doing so much work this series and feeling damn sharp right now. 2v4. Zipping on the short side of main. Orbital to send Xiao into the open. Surely he saw that one coming. And Zippin can't beat 4 men swinging in front of him. So that's going to be another. And I'm sure the Fnatic fans are going to be absolutely cheering with a W here. 11-8. 2 more rounds. All that's needed for Fnatic to take this best of 5 with a clean sweep of 3 rounds.
That's just a perfect example of Na'Vi not being switched on today. Like, how does a world-class team like Na'Vi misthrow the drop smoke? You can see the frustration. Like, they're just not on today. They're just not switched on.
And that was Xiao as well, who's, you know, been so crucial in Na'Vi's victories before.
Yeah.
You can't drop the ball like that.
Absolutely not. Either way, a couple of guns picked up in that Thrifty round is going to give Na'Vi some punching power here. They're able to actually get 2 hero rifles in towards round number 20. Here's another opportunity for Fnatic to not only secure a series point, but build up their own economy. Is the pressure over towards the top side of the map. This would usually be an excellent duel for the defense on that kind of range, but like I said, with the hero rifles in the hands of someone like Angel, that's actually not really a duel that you can take so easily.
Yeah. Well, Angel just pressuring his way forward. Alphaja in a bit of a rough position at Heaven. Has been zoned away by the paint shells, but he'll swing wide. And it's not worked out as intended. Boaster can be able to find one. Neural Theft comes through. Man's been pulsed on, but he's still going to commit to that spray through the smokes now. And falls away, 4v4. Fnatic giving the respect to the site control and happy to play for the retake. Look at this position for the plant as well. Oh, tucked away safe on site.
Sugetsu barely stays alive. In comes the Fade ult, but it's dodged by all of Na'Vi.
Not a single person hit, of course, coming in from tree side means it's a little bit awkward for them. Oh, Durka going to be caught throwing those paint shells, running for his life now. Zippin, his position known, and a 1v2. Oh, it's not a chance. There's nothing on the board for him. Boaster himself this series has been so sharp. This performance, as well as RGLing, is absolutely invaluable.
Well.
Yeah.
Calling's been real good.
I know exactly.
And you're totally right. Actually, statistically, he's been just decent.
Decent? You're doing really well this series.
Yeah. What's his stats in this game? I didn't see. I was looking at Haven and Lotus. He's pretty much going dead even. And then this game, yeah, just dead even. He's doing his job, playing smokes, doing some good calls. Telling Durka and Alphaja go kill. Good on him.
His impact's been pretty crucial.
Oh, they missed through the Toxic Orb. Again, that's just a misthrowing util from Na'Vi. In goes Durka.
Yeah.
Doesn't get running headshot that time. Oh dear. This might be all she wrote for Na'Vi here. They're picking up the pace in towards B.
Things not going right. Alphaja ready for this bust in from Heaven. Offline, off position from Alphaja does not work. So now a chance for Na'Vi to try and save the day, to try and save their lives in the tournament. One round between them and the L. And it's looking a little bit risky now, but Fnatic are respecting this one.
Save. Okay.
Not happy with their own economy. So Na'Vi allowed to get a 9th hit. And with 4 alive, they should be right to buy into the next as well.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, the reset potential is kind of negligible, but it's more so the case of once these rounds start to get a little bit tight in the XVXs towards the tail end of the game, you don't want to be put onto series point and have to go down to a Guardian or skip a key piece of util.
Nah.
3 more for Na'Vi to equalize.
High pressure situation. And Na'Vi, even though the util hasn't been on point, they've managed to scavenge another round. With a crisp entry, Alphaja has been solid for Fnatic. We were talking him up, and when he fell towards B, that was pretty much the round from there.
He's been given a lot of responsibility in a lot of these rounds on defense, which is fair. He's you know, the Sentinel player, but very mechanically skilled. Oh, again, pressure over here towards Arcade, and you can see Na'Vi's ready for it. This is an excellent read from them. They're sitting all the way back.
Going forward with the Rolling Thunder. Stimmy invested as well, but Boaster, he's beaten it. Can't find another.
Look at
and
that.
The paint shells will polish off Chronicle as well. So Na'Vi, even with the Rolling Thunder coming their way, they were ready for the aggression. And Leo, he's been spotted and chipped down to 30 points of health. Finds one. And allows Alphaja an opportunity in the 1v3 to give it a red hot crack here. Toxic screen in the way. And Cenid just tucked in front of Jen. He hears that cross to sight as the screen goes down. Oh, missed opportunity. Zipping so low up in heaven. 1 bullet and he was done. And oh, just trying to catch a timing now. But speaking of timing, it's that wrap back in towards CT side turret. We're going to take contact.
What is this turret doing?
Giving the ground a little smoochy smoocher. And seen it as well.
Oh, he's unders. He's unders.
And there you have it. Seen it will fall. So, screen falls, jumping. Zippen just trying to get any info possible, but that time it's ticked too far away. Damage is big here, and he won't find it onto Zippen. Both remaining Na'Vi players will survive, and that's going to be 10 secured. Mitch, are you okay?
Dude, did you not see what the turret just did?
Yeah, it looked... I think that's what they introduced. Remember how there was that turret bug where they had to fully replay a whole game?
Yeah.
So instead of letting the turret, like, look in a random direction back to where it was up to, it just looks at the ground now when it unlocks off someone.
Yeah, clearly he's in unders. Dude, that was a classic case of just Na'Vi familiarity with their opponents, these two EMEA teams. Probably scrim each other a lot, probably prac a lot. Like, Na'Vi was like 15 steps ahead in that round. They were like literally turtling all the way back dish, ready for the Rolling Thunder play through Arcade. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, scenes. High stakes and hot stakes. What we're probably going to be having for lunch after this, Mitch. This has been a series.
I don't think I'm going to be awake for lunch, bro, for real.
Yeah, good. Finally, go to sleep. Also, I got your answer before. I think it is Duggan Bala or Baller. You can see him standing up on that cool old casting stage up the top of the arena there.
KO ult for Zippen.
Mate, where are they going?
They're departing or arriving?
That's the question. Where's Saladas? You don't make friends with Saladas. I'm sorry. Continue.
I don't think I want to. In general, like not just talking about casting. Turret up on top of the box. Fnatic playing off the turret's contact here. They're going to trigger the fault line util. I agree. Me too. This is the boom bot. It's going to clear the turret with the orb. going up in A main. You can see how trepidatious Na'Vi is right now. They know that there's some kind of BS afoot.
Oh, great stunt. Paint shell's going to be used to keep them away. And just waiting for that turret contact as well to make the play happen. But after all that util's used, now there's an opportunity for Na'Vi to go forward. And CNED has walked through this multiple times this half and not been punished for it. The Sky Smoke just gets dropped by Fnatic. And then there's no one there. But they are going to make a bit of noise in the process. Paranoia. And straight into Sand. Null command, just clearing out everything. And all of this util from Alpha is going to be completely useless. Oh, Cyber Cages. Going to be too much of a distraction, and Alpha can't shoot back. Chronicle finds those entries, and this is looking good for Na'Vi. It was a two-man advantage, but Leo's going to be able to find at least one now. Sugetsu up on the ledge, up on the rafters, ready for the swing in from heaven. But Fnatic are playing this very cautiously. Leo waiting for the boys, and they are not coming. They are just calling the save, even though there's only a one-man disadvantage. They want to try to work up these ults, play for the next, and maybe get some damage here, but Bo's just been chipped down to 20.
He re-swings that. Crazy.
Yeah.
He gets his ult off of dying there, but losing the Phantom towards the last round of regulation could definitely cost him.
Yeah.
See Na'Vi on the hunt.
Mate, this feels like Haven all over again. Literally anyone's map. Oh, play it better. And Sugetsu.
Look, usually I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the graphics, but yeah, maybe a full screen round win graphic right over the crosshair when someone's getting run out is probably not it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, last round here. Last round here.
There's one that goes down the bottom. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
nah. Just a bit, yeah, nah.
No complaints. Just feeling for the audience.
Orbital out here for Boaster. He's had to go down to light armor after losing his Phantom in the last round. You got the From the Shadows. And an Operator on Shao here. He's just holding that B main line on the old stairs. CNED with the showstopper. Orb goes up. Na'Vi applying pressure here in towards A main, but similar to previously. They're a little worried about what might happen if they commit too hard. Oh, that's pretty nice.
Great aftershock.
Oh,
Great orbital.
Thought he could survive there.
Some beautiful utility combinations coming through.
Pressure on Na'Vi now, Mac. CNED's got to get in there with the showstopper. They got to complete this 4-on-5 or this series is done and dusted here.
We'll have a look at this as well. Alpha just living. He hasn't gone for another orb yet, but if he gets one pick, there's a lockdown that they can use at any given moment. There's that pick, and oh, he's given his life. He's gone too far forward. Won't rip the Locky, and the Paranoia hits onto Chronicle as well. So Na'Vi not quite out of the round yet. They're a man down, but they are committing to a safe plant on site. And over the top side as well. Seas isn't going to hit because it's gone too shallow. Durka connecting. And oh, it's all down to Shao, who has been the superstar for Na'Vi. 1v4 though. He's been here before, but it's Fnatic going all the way into the grand final. 13-11, 3-0. What an affair in the second semi-final. And Fnatic are the Omegas from this side.
Yeah, I think, look, commiserations to Na'Vi. The reality is, though, despite two of those maps being 13-11s, I don't think they played very well today. To be honest, they didn't look switched on, and they look quite flat. They look quite disappointed in their performance. Like Shao,
yeah, I think they know it.
Shao heading into that series was the top-rated player in the tournament. He was just kind of playing average today. You know, Zippin was up there. He was kind of playing decent today. Don't think CNED turned up as much as usual. Shao definitely didn't turn up as much as usual. Sugetsu played reasonably well. I don't think Angel is necessarily expected to perform super well, but he was top 15 in stats heading into this series, and he had a couple shockers. I feel like you give Angel a pass though. In fact, I feel like because they were flat individually, his calling on a lot of those attacking sides was keeping them in it, and even there on Fracture where they were losing those last couple of rounds with some great calls, some great reads from him, keeping the boys in the game. So it just goes to show you realistically, I think, you know, that was probably Fnatic's A or B game, and that was probably like Navi's like C game.
Yeah. Fnatic, I feel like Fnatic played their A game.
Yeah, I
like
think so.
for the most part.
Yeah, I think they played pretty well today, and I just don't feel like Navi played super well. And
yeah,
look, that's what happens. You get 3-0'd, and at the end of the day, that's going to be a little bit disappointing for Navi. But you can't always be on, man. Oh, what's going on here? Hold on.
Why does he always come prepared? He always gets ready for a win. Ain't that something? Is he reading him a story? Was that what the hands was?
Me too. Me too, guys.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel that on another level, and I know that the production team does as well. We're all gonna have a nice little snooze after this. But that was solid. In fact, both of those semi-finals were pretty good. I think yesterday's game was a little bit better than the game we got today. I think today I definitely learned a lot about you know, the macro aspects of the game and what's good. It's always great to see some of the best teams in the world, particularly the European teams. They always have a very strong style and a very strong approach that resonates with me. And yeah, look, Fnatic against Loud, that's going to be crazy tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty insane. I feel like Loud looked... Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know who wins this game. If Fnatic play like they did today, of course, as you were mentioning, look, the macro-wise, I feel like they had things a bit more sorted, but when you look at the mechanics, Loud and that aggression and that chaos and those walls and those flashes, like Fnatic have to come prepared. You know that they're going to come prepared. You know that they've done research for bloody weeks. They would have gotten ready against all the 3 remaining teams that they could have potentially been playing. So we'll see how that all works out tomorrow. But look, for now, that was an absolute cracker of a match. A shorter one as well, so we get to go home early. Not that we aren't already at home.
What?
But yeah, lock-in has been...
I'm in South Paulo right now, bro.
Yeah, I wish. You want to go to the beach just after this? Just down the road, huh?
100%.
100%. Look, this has been interesting, though. Doing the official Australian co-stream of the lock-in here for VCT. 13-11 on map 3. And look, it's weird that CNED was the MVP for the team there, because I feel like there were moments where it just felt like he was just whipping.
Yeah. And look, end of the day, sometimes it be like that.
Yeah.
Top 4 ain't bad for Na'Vi though. And I think that that's an interesting storyline, because I think they're going to be disappointed with that semi-final, especially with how hot they've looked in a lot of this tournament. But I feel like that's only going to make the EMEA League more spicy. That's going to be like the rivalry, and you best believe these Na'Vi blokes are going to come at them hard when that EMEA League starts winding down. You're going to definitely get this as a semi or a grand final match.
The storylines really coming through nice and early. I feel like that's the point of the lock-in, right? Is to try to build some kind of rivalry, some kind of storylines for
sure.
Teams all across the world, all across the different regions. And look, Pacific doing pretty well, but it seems like Americas so far have one leg remaining to stand on. That, of course, is going to be Loud. And think of this match tomorrow. Fnatic up against Loud. Fnatic, probably one of the loudest audiences online and throughout the world. And then Loud, the loudest audience in the arena. That's going to be insane. And there's going to be a Saturday night over there in Brazil as well, in Sao Paulo. Insane. It couldn't have ended better. It's like someone's actually written the script, and that was you, Mitch. Why'd you write it like this?
I just wanted the most hype grand final possible, you know. Wish I could have written in a couple extra maps for Na'Vi and maybe some of the boys performing a little bit better. But sometimes it's just not your day.
I got the sun. Sun's rolling in. Sun's rolling in real hot at the moment. But look, that was a time. That was a much shorter broadcast than I expected compared to yesterday, of course. But look, Mitch, have you enjoyed our overnighters? Is there anyone you would have rather have spent 2 nights with rather than myself?
Definitely, but maybe not for casting. In other ways, yes. Look, honestly, It's just really good to be able to cast some of the top teams, you know, even in a co-stream format and stuff like that. Watch some proper Valorant and, you know, learn from the best there is and be able to cast some exciting stuff because this is why we do it. So definitely really enjoyed my time. Would love to do this kind of thing again.
How good is it just getting to watch the top tier of the world, getting to cast it as well? It's just so easy because things make sense.
That's what we live for, bro. That's what we live for. That's why we grind all the domestic leagues. That's why we do what we do.
And we finally got a shot, huh? Here on the official Aussie broadcast. Either way, look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It's been a fun couple of nights. We got one more big night of games. New agent reveal tomorrow as well. You're going to have Conky, you're going to have Dion, Komodo tomorrow for the grand final broadcast. Let's hope that they're awake for it and they don't sleep through their alarms because we almost did multiple times. Either way, ladies and gents, thanks for coming. Tomorrow night, grand final night. We'll see you there.
Mwah.